and implementation of employment plans in different plans. And that is why the process continues. And again, sometimes you see the challenges here we go through as the national electricity that we using the power grid is just went off. Our team here will be showing that we get some form of lighting. We'll be on shortly. I think we're better now. Okay, thank you very much. You know, I mean, this has happened in many times. So as we talk about the annual message this year, it is important for us to take stock. And on Monday, His Excellency will be telling the Liberian people of the achievements of the government, the challenges, and of course, absolutely, electricity has been one of the major challenges, as you can see. And one of the role and goal of the president will be to ensure that the electricity is strengthening. And after he delivers the annual message on the 27th, he will attend a very important meeting in Tanzania, again on electricity. In this meeting, our president will give the keynote message. He's going to leave Liberia the evening of the annual message. So say he speaks on Monday, the evening of Monday, he will travel to Tanzania, where he's going to be addressing the energy forum there. And a lot of things and preparations are happening. The annual message will take place at the grounds of the Capitol building. And the team here from the nation of state is working in partnership with all other sectors necessary to ensure a smooth operation or smooth delivery and a smooth preparation, as well as program to be very successful. So, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Executive Mansion, or say Ministry of State, as well as all other agencies, GSA, the National Legislature, on the information side, MICAT, ourselves, LBS, and all other government apparatuses are willing and ready, and they're moving to ensure that the Monday State of the Nation or annual message is clearly delivered. Our president is in high spirits. Our president is currently on his way to Bomi. This morning he was here where he attended the prayer service. As I said, he's on his way to Bomi County for the weekend, where he's going to primarily focus on the annual message, and he's going to be here and really to update all of you Liberians of the current changes and the plan for this year moving forward, the things that you all will see, and how he hopes that all of you, all of us, will join hands to ensure that development is made for our people in the Republic of Liberia. Thank you and good afternoon. We will take questions and call it a day.
Yeah, Madam Press Secretary, thank you so much for your deliberations. My name is Yobini Masalea, reports for SCA. You began with the funeral service of the late Senator of Nimba County, Honorable Prince Y. Johnson. At that funeral, a member, let's say, of Senate,
and the need for transparent proceedings, we would like to inform you that we have identified members of your House as persons of interest to this ongoing investigation and will be calling them for questioning. Those concerned are 1. Honorable Dave Bonati Kofa. 2. Honorable Sir Foko. 3. Honorable Abu D. Kamara. 4. Honorable Dixon W. Sibo. 5, Honorable Priscilla A. Cooper. 6, Honorable J. Marvin Cole. 7, Honorable Jacob C. Debbie. The LMP is committed to conducting this investigation professionally to ensure that all individuals' rights are respected. We are confident that the cooperation of the House of Representatives will significantly enhance our efforts to prevent future occurrences of such incidents. We respectfully request a meeting with the identified representatives at a convenient time to discuss the terms and framework of their participation in this investigation.
The national chairman will close it. Thank you very much. The youth. Commerce. We came specifically as the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction to send this caveat to be this privilege to speak. Lastly, because of time, somebody mounted the board and they said the young people to gravitate from battleground. We said thank you. We gave you power, so you got to tell him. Another person for the Unity Party chairman mounted this podium and supported the debate that Peter already prepared himself. So he knew he was going to die, and he has died. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh.
It is disgusting to note that politicians, such as the likes of Musa Beledi, Akarios Gray, and others, are politicizing a matter of human rights and national security in support of a corrupt indictee.
You also have to want to propaganda and they don't know what to do and propaganda goes wrong.
Can we play my news?
You are already live. You speak so hard when the chairman was in the press conference. They didn't tell your own dissatisfaction.
I what?
Your own dissatisfaction.
You don't tell me that nobody has read the press conference.
Why?
Why? Just about what you're in power in your body headquarters. To your body headquarters. Our parents don't have jobs. We don't want to play with working. We'll talk about one parents that don't want it letter. We'll talk about one people that
in Liberia.
Oh yes, I tell you.
I'll tell you what is happening in Monrovia.
Spoon is going to tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon will tell you what's happening in Monrovia. Just tune to Spoon, and you will know definitely if the children are crying from starvation. You want to get the news update. You want to know what's happening in the ministries, and just tune to Spoon. This is where we give you the updates, critical analysis,
you want to know what happened
face-to-face interaction with policymakers. We elevate the voices of the ordinary people and give you the platform where you can engage with national leaders. I'd like to say welcome tonight. Thanks for joining us. My name is Nelson Collier. We are live on the program, the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. Thanks to the many of you across the world for joining us tonight. We are live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We are live on Fabric Radio 101.1, and a host of other radio stations across Liberia. Thanks to our partner radio stations. Thanks to Trust FM in Bomi County. Thanks to Premier FM in Bomi, Trend Radio in Grand Crew, Radio Yalaman in Seklipi and Nimba County, and a host of other radio stations across the country. We're all set to give you nothing less than the best tonight. Kindly join us, share the program as you come on, especially for those of you joining us by means of social media tonight. We appreciate if you were to share the show in your different group chats, in your WhatsApp groups, on your timelines, so we have a great interaction tonight. Well, a lot is happening across the country, and Liberians are gearing up for the SONA, the State of the Nation address. The President of the Republic of Liberia, President Joseph Numa Boakai, is expected to address the nation on Monday. Yes, on the 27th of January. It's going to be his second State of the Nation address since he took office. We're going to bring you details and analysis around that, plus a whole lot. But let me quickly go to the comment section and recognize some of you joining us tonight on the program. I see a lot of you coming on. Again, please share the show as you join us tonight. I see Hipko Kazi is here. He said, good evening, Nelson, the entire team. Yes. Hipko Kazi, thanks a lot. We appreciate you for always joining us here, sharing your thoughts, engaging in the comment section, sharing the show as well. I see Dantala Frank is joining us. Joseph Colley is here tonight. Thanks for joining us. I see Jackson T. Lamin is joining us tonight as well. Roland Sumpon joining us. J. Edwin M. Saki Jr. is here as well. Thanks for joining us. Eric McGill, as always, from Atlanta, Georgia, you joining us tonight. We appreciate you. William B. Morris, thanks for coming on as well. And I see a lot of you joining us from different locations tonight. My niece's son is joining us from Abidjan in the Ivory Coast. We appreciate you for joining us tonight. James Brooks joining us tonight. Yes, we appreciate you. Please share the show as you join us. Timaya Brooks. And I see Bosco Sankor is here. Roberta Riches joining us. Sekou Donzo as well is here tonight. I see Junior Silly joining us. Thanks to all of you for coming on tonight on this edition of the program. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. And we want to appreciate all of you for joining us tonight. Alfred Flomo is here from Minnesota. Thanks for joining us, Alfred, and all of you across the world coming on tonight. We want to appreciate it. Well, there's a whole lot happening across the country. Most of you are aware that the weekend starts today, so it's going to be a very, very engaging and brief edition of the program. Yes, but let's move to the updates. What are some of the happenings across the country? What are some of those issues making it up in the news? What are Liberians talking about? What are Liberians concerned about? What are the issues making it in the headlines, on the radio stations, in the radio news, in the TV news? Let's move on to bring you some of the updates here tonight. Well, today there was a conversation, a special session, an engagement, an interaction led by the current information minister of the government, Minister Jerry Lee McPia. It was a kind of strategic move when the minister engaged the arm of government's information dissemination, the man leading that institution, engaged with former heads of the Ministry of Information. Well, we understand that the purpose of the meeting was to refine the communication strategies for the recently introduced arrest agenda. Well, the government is a year old. The government has taken seat. It's been 1 year since the government was sworn in, and the government has launched the arrest agenda. Well, there are so many things in the arrest agenda, some beautiful things captured there, and the information minister is concerned. How do we communicate? How do we take this arrest agenda from being just a an idea on the papers to making sure that it has a trickle down effect on the ordinary people. Now, communication plays a very key role in that. And so the information minister today said, I can't do it on my own. I can't fight this battle on my own. He went ahead and engaged or invited some some individuals who have served at that very institution before to have an engagement with them, to come up with a refined strategy, a refined communication strategy as to how they can adequately communicate the arrest agenda. But is the agenda only about communication? And maybe these are areas where we need to start asking the critical question. Is it just about communication? Or is communication a component of this whole thing with respect to whether or not this agenda is going to have a trickle-down effect? Is it more about acting on what's on the paper already than just talking or communicating with the people? Well, the information minister thought it wise to engage. So he was calling all the old heads, all the people who have been at the Ministry of Information before. You can let's sit down at one table. You can let talk. You can let have the conversation. What thing you think I can do? You bring your idea in together. You're in the ministry before. Let me talk about that bring away. You're in the ministry before. All of your minister, deputy ministers, and all those different positions. The time you're here, what thing you do to make the ministry functional? What the new thing you think we can bring to the table to make sure that the communication strategy is effective enough to get the arrest agenda a successful one? Who are some of those that attended the engagement today? I saw former Information Minister Louis Brown. He was there. He's now ambassador. He was there. I saw who are some of those captured in the photo? The people got some, So I mean, deputy ministers, they were all there today, and it was a great interaction. But on the flip side, there's a whole lot happening across the country. The Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency, the LDA, has arrested a Nigerian national for being in possession of drugs in Sino County. The arrest was carried out in Greenville, in the capital city of Sino County. Well, it was carried out by the county detachment of the LDEA. The individual has been apprehended. Well, they allege that he was in illegal possession of narcotic substance, and the arrest was made at about 7:30 p.m. There are more details coming up on this story. It's a developing story, and there are more details coming out on this particular one. On the flip side, now a lot of you saw the recent story on the social media with the police inspector general, Colonel Gregory Como, when he was making his way somewhere along the highway. Usually there are checkpoints, and he came across one of those checkpoints where his guys are, deployed, and he noticed that people were collecting money. And so the plastic bag that they were putting all the monies in, he took the plastic bag from them and forwarded those officers, some of those officers who were caught in the act, to the professional standard division there at the Liberia National Police. He expressed serious disappointment in what the guys were doing, and he forwarded them to the professional standard there, because that division is more like the disciplinary arm of the Liberia National Police. So if a police officer does something to you, say for example, the person who offended you Not because the person is a police officer, then it means that the person goes without any punishment. No, that professional standard starts an investigation. Once you take a complaint there, you go to the LNP headquarters. Take a complaint there, ask for the professional standard division and all of that, and that division is responsible to launch investigation into this kind of malpractices or alleged malpractices. So yes, the guys were forwarded. And from Bond County, this situation happened on the 17th of January, and those officers have been investigated, and the Liberian National Police has dismissed some of those individuals with immediate effect. One person has been dismissed, while two others have been suspended following an investigation by the professional standard. So, who are those individuals? Sergeant Musa V. Sharif, ID number 2248. As a team leader, you have Sergeant Sharif. Okay, so for him, the team leader, he was dismissed. That one with immediate effect. He was found guilty of corruption. He was found guilty of neglect of duty. He was found guilty of misconduct. And then as a result of that, he was being dismissed. And you have patrolman Julius Reeves and Erasmus K. Jala. Those were the police officers whom the action was taken against. So as to set a deterrent to avoid the reoccurrence of, anything of such. So yes, this is where we are. The stage is being set gradually for the State of the Nation address. And this is something we're going to talk about. Why the stage is being set, the momentum is building up gradually. There are lawmakers who are saying that they are going to boycott the State of the Nation address. Why? We've been speaking to some of those lawmakers. Just last evening, we had Representative Jacob DB. He was here on the show, and it was a great interaction. So we're going to make some analysis around that plus other issues. I see the folks are coming on gradually. Let me bring the team on as we get set to take you through this edition of the program. Again, I want to welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight on the late night show, the late night Politics and Spoon. Yes. So yes, thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Let me make a quick adjustment here. I'm trying to. Okay. So I want to make a quick one. Okay. Yeah. So this is where we are with that. The majority black took an issue to court, declaratory judgment, and based on that, there was an invite from the court today. Information is that the majority black, so it was a minority black that took the issue. So the majority black had to appear today through the legal representative. The court reserved ruling after listening to the argument. So the ruling has been reserved for Monday, 11 a.m. regarding the case filed by the minority black against the majority black Speaker Richie Nangwe Kun. They are citing issues about issues surrounding his election. They think on behalf, the processes leading to his election was not in line with what it should be, and so they're still on the legal battle. But while we're talking about this, some of the folks have been attending session, and a few of them we spoken to said they only wanted their names to be called. They go to session because they want their names to be called, not necessarily because they recognize the leadership of Speaker Kuhn. But on the flip side, this is what it is. I want to go to the in the background. Let me bring Josh on. Trying to get some make some adjustments here. Josh, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Nelson. Thank you for having me. It's been a great day. Thank you.
Okay, Josh. It's a great thing to have you on tonight. Want to appreciate you for coming on. So how are you? How have you been?
Nelson, I am fine. I'm fine. The thing is, it's always a great thing, to be on this platform to share our own I don't know, our own thoughts, about Liberia. And it gives me great pleasure to share with you, that I've been great since I came back from Liberia. Liberia, Sweet Land of Liberty, I kept us in back here in Australia. So that's great. And I'm very interested in some of the things you've been talking about. And I was in bed because it's quite earlier this morning. It's about 10:44 this morning, and I
Okay.
was sleeping because it's a weekend, it's Saturday. And but when I overhear you, narrating all these things that you're talking about, I felt really interested. So I decided to come on, and I look forward to sharing my thoughts as well on those things that you talked about.
Okay, great, Josh. I think it's a great way. It's a great way to start the show tonight. While we await the rest of the team to come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I remember last edition, last Friday, we promised our audience that we would have dropped the link in the comment section, at least to accommodate
Hmm.
a few of the folks who regularly follow the show. We're going to be doing that at some point in time. But Josh, I want you to do your opening before moving to the actual conversation tonight. What's on your mind?
Well, look, Nelson, thank you very much. And what's on my mind? One of the things that is actually, on my mind is yesterday's show that you had with the representative who came on. I was
Mm.
quite impressed by his, deliberation. I think, I was amazed. I was in office, I was listening to the show. I couldn't come on because, I share office with somebody now. So I wouldn't want to disturb them. So I didn't want to come on the show. I just listened in, and I was really quite impressed. And the second thing is that Nelson, now the representation of Liberia now is the branding of the capital. You get on Google to see Liberia now, you will see that our legislature, or the seat of our, you know, legislative, branch are being, gutted with fire. That's what you see now. And Nelson, I want to tell you without fear or favor, it's because of the poor leadership of President Wakai that our, country is now looked at as a country of almost failure, Nelson. You can see that, and anyone can tell you, one of those who want to be fair will say, Nelson, if this president was a good leader, where we are today, we wouldn't have been there. This country, it's retrogressing only because President Boakai cannot lead. And it's sad, Nelson, for a man who has had, 42 years in government, to be in government and such thing is happening, Nelson, and he cannot even make a decision, Nelson. It is a troubling trend. And I know people will say, oh, whatever they want to say, that the branches are different branches and that. Look, these people coordinate. Nelson, anything that happens in this government is the government of President Waka. He controls the agenda of this country as we know it.
But
So
Josh, Josh,
nobody,
Josh,
yeah.
Josh, what do you expect in this case? Now I can understand when you say going online, if you search, if you just put Liberia in the Google search, yes, The Capitol building situation, the place on fire. These are things that will pop up immediately, and it's more like a face for the country online and all of that. But what do you expect? What do you think the president would have done? Now, I want us to go back a little. I know this is just your opening. We're going to go into the conversation later on, but I want us to go back a little when Speaker Kofi appeared on on the Spoon Network. He said they don't need executive intervention. They could handle the situation given the way it presented itself, the way it came. They had what it takes or what it took at the time as an independent branch of government to handle their own situation. I mean, Josh, given where we are now, and I see you trying to shift the blames on the president, he should have done. What do you think the president should have done?
Nelson, we all know it, and unless someone is trying to play games here, that this whole thing was the making of the executive branch. This
No, no,
whole thing was a
I don't
brainchild.
know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
okay,
know.
you don't know, Nelson, but
Mm,
I'm gonna say it, Nelson, because I'm not in Liberia. No one can come to my house tonight and pick me up, like
come.
the NSA is doing to people now. No one can do that. I'm really far away from you. I'm I think 44,000 kilometers away. So there's no way someone can come and pick me up. So I would say, Nelson, that this whole thing is the brainchild of the president. Look, Nelson, the president who have told how they call him Richard Kuhn, say stop this. You know what I mean? I want a stable government. Stop this. It would have been finished. Richard Kuhn is his partisan. Richard Kuhn, he is the head of the party that Richard Kuhn comes from. Richard Kuhn is just a legislator. You know what I mean? Who represent, certain group of people,
But
but
do you
belongs
think
to
it
the
was
political
necessary
party.
in the first place? Do you think it was necessary in the first place for the president to have intervened, especially at the early stage of this whole thing, when the speaker said they didn't need executive intervention, they could manage the situation, they had control of it.
Nelson, what the learned lawyer was saying, Konati Kofa was saying, is that we don't want the interference. He didn't want to say like that, Nelson, but as wise as we are and intelligent as we are, we should have known, because look, not everything that people say, can be seen from the face value. Sometimes you have to look at the background of what the person is saying. Sometimes people don't want to say exactly what they want to say, but when you are open-minded, you can understand what that person is trying to drive at. He was not saying that he doesn't want the president or the executive branch to coordinate with them. That means to talk to them to see what's going on, right? All he was saying that he did not want the interference, because this executive branch of President Boakai was interfering into the legislative work of the country. It should not be. At all costs, it should not be. He was interfering. He has been interfering, which is wrong. And guess what? Our country is now a laughing stock around the world.
Well,
Now, Betty Buen, you catch people, you put in jail, then you go to sell, then the Betty catch a fire again, you run outside again. I know they put that in jail and they go and take them from there, bring them outside to say, oh no, I think we'll allow you because fire can't again. Oh. No, that's it.
this is very
That's
important.
shameful.
That was just for your opening, but we're going to go into the
Thank you.
conversation tonight because there are lots of other things connected to this issue that we're going to be talking about tonight. The SONA is coming up, the State of the Nation address, the momentum is building up, the stage is being set. Well, there are divided opinions, there are expectations as well with respect to what Liberians hope to see the president address, what the president is going to be talking about in the first place. But Francis, I want to welcome you to the show. Since you just jumped in, I'd like you to do your opening, then we maybe just transition, go into the
Yeah, look,
conversation.
let me plug my device. It's going out of power.
Yeah, okay.
Nelson, thanks for having me. Good morning to our folks in Liberia. Good evening, wherever you are. It's another day. Every day there's news in Liberia, but not take up much time. I was hurrying to come on, and I heard your pre-show commentary talking about some of the police officers that were dismissed for some form of corruption. I believe it was those guys that
Yeah,
IG
along
came up with the money.
the Bon County Highway. Yeah,
Right. I mean,
yeah.
you
So,
see,
so those guys, and that's going to be part of our talking point. Yes, but those guys were uh turned over after the police, the IG took you know, took the money from them and stuff like that. And then they were forwarded to the Professional Standard Division of the Liberian National Police for further investigation. So the Professional Standard Division has concluded the investigation, and what we're going to be talking about tonight is the outcome of the investigation, which is very important. The actions that have been taken so far.
yeah.
But
So
you want to do your opening, then
yeah,
we
I just wrap up my opening. I know since you said we'll get into it, I reserve some comments, but I just want to put a pay close attention to see what's going on in our country, because the examples are always made of the common man, but the legal criminals, the top criminals in the country, nothing is done to them when they commit crimes. There's nothing done. But when you see all the legal standards, whatever coming and flexing that muscle, when it's just the common or the low level civil servants, for all the top legal criminals, they are untouchable. Like, you'll see it for yourself.
Yeah, you're right, and we're gonna go more into that conversation tonight. But I'd like to welcome everyone, and again, kindly share the show as you come on. We had a lawmaker on as a guest last evening, and he spoke on a whole lot. Interestingly, due to time factor, we couldn't do a post analysis on some of the things he talked about. But for the first time, I heard, should I say, detailed explanation or whatever around the 45,000. How it even got to 45,000. How there is $42 every single day that is supposed to go to each lawmaker as transportation. But since they couldn't give it every day, they decided to keep it after 3 years. And then it sums up to some 45,600 stuff. But they gave them 45,000, which they can then use to maybe purchase a vehicle. I mean, that was new for me. That was fresh information I got last evening from the lawmaker on the Rodibi who was on, and we're going to talk about all of these things and make some analysis around that. But I like us to start up with the SONA coming up, the State of the Nation address. It's very important because this is one moment that Liberians throughout the country will wait eagerly to hear from the president himself, whoever that person is, that is the president of the country, what the current state of affairs of the country is, where the country sits at the moment, as to whether the country is progressing, to know exactly what the status of the different sectors are. And that's why the State of the Nation is very important. After 1 year of leadership, of steering the affairs of the country, the president, not necessarily President Baka, but whoever the president is, get to tell the people what they've done. It's more like making report to the people of the country, telling them that this job you entrusted me with, this is what I've been able to do. This is what I've been able to do. These are my challenges. These are things I did not do. And this is how I intend to do it the next time, and just a whole lot surrounding that. We know this. The other side of this thing is that you have some lawmakers who have said that they're going to boycott the SONA, the Rule of Law Caucus. But I want us to start a conversation around this. After 1 year of the rescue mission, I mean, what are your expectations? What do you think the president is going to be telling the Liberian people on Monday? I mean, what can we point to if we look around? Just taking a look across the different sectors of the country, comparing what the reality is to what it were yesterday. What do you think the president is going to say to the Liberian people with respect to maybe the other sectors? The different sector, in the educational sector, in the health sector. What significant improvements have we made over the years? Or is the president going to talk about the challenges that are still there? Is the president going to tell the Liberian people that the first year has been a time when the government will have to sit right, and then right after that, things will start to fall in place? I want us to start this conversation from here, Josh, and let's get your take on this. We're gonna move to Francis next.
Thank you, Nelson. And look, Nelson, I'm not a stranger to Liberia. I was just there, as you know it. I was there for a month. And I know that this president has done nothing whatsoever. I think this president is coming to promise the Liberian people again, like he's going to be campaigning, that if you give me another, 5 years, I will do this, I will do that. Because Nelson, the country is what it is. The country is on autopilot. That country is moving alone. The Liberian people, the resilience of the Liberian people is remarkable. Because Nelson, those people are doing everything to have ends meet, my man. Nelson, I was there. I know how hard the country is, Nelson. Nelson, if you give somebody $20, Nelson, that person is happy as if you have given $1,000. Nelson, President Boakai does not know what is happening in the country, and it is sad. Nelson, if you look at the exchange rate, Nelson, when I got there, the exchange rate, I think 180. Nelson, is 200 now. Nelson, it's only because the Lebanese men know say in December we can send money to our people. So they want to take the money from our people cheap. So they bring the rate down. Then the government start yelling, oh yeah, we're doing well. That's why the rate going down. Then as soon as that time finishes, they know say they got all the money from the Liberian people. They change it in USA in their pocket. Then they carry the rate up. To buy from them now, you pay almost double. Then they make millions of dollars from you, from the Liberian people. That's what's happening, Nelson. But our government will say, well, they will take responsibility. They will say that what work we're doing, that what the rate gone down. Nelson is false. And Nelson, I don't know what President Boakai is going to say. Maybe he's going to talk about the police boot that he brought to EFW 72nd or SKD Boulevard Junction. Nelson, that no longer exists, Nelson. They came out of OA, they took it in. I was there, Nelson. The police had a generator at Depot 10. Nelson, while the police were in attendance, people stole the generator, Nelson, and the police were asking for the public to help them to find who stole that generator.
Where did you get information from? No, Josh. Where did you get the information about somebody stealing generator from police station? It's like somebody telling me that President George Weah television at his 9th Street residence got stolen when EPS officers were on duty. I mean, Josh, I don't understand this. And the former president said he was going to throw Legner for a TV and all of those kind of things. I don't understand. I mean, that's the thing about this.
Nelson, here's the thing, Nelson. The police were in attendance, Nelson. Jeff, no, I'm not. Maybe you will ask me too many questions about how I got the information. I saw it on Facebook, Nelson. It was proving people commented. Here's the thing. The police was in attendance at the Capitol building. They were in front of the guy in the building got on fire, and they're still looking for the people that did it. Nelson, these are the things. Nelson, I don't see the sources of this president written anywhere in Liberia. The only thing I will see is the roads that are being constructed, Nelson. But those roads, most of the roads, that even the RIA road that they are taking praises for in the EFW junction, were all just Weah's project, right? The former president, projects. And behind closed doors, these people commend the CDC government for starting the projects, for doing it, for taking that bold step to say, yes, this is our only international role, and we must make sure that it's a country among rules around the world. what President Weah did. I just want to give kudos to President Weah. I think this sooner should be George Weah sooner to go and address the capital, not President Boaga, because he's done nothing else. And all he's done is to travel on private jet and go from Lofa to how they call it, Freetown, where he went for a reunion with his friends who he went to school with, and all these things.
I want us to do this about the health sector. What do you think the president is going to tell the country? And maybe we should come. We're going to do another round on that. But let's hear from Francis holistically. I mean, what's your take? The SONA comes up on Monday.
Yeah, it should be something that the country should look forward to. But before I even lost my train of thought, sometimes when we're talking the politics, sometimes my brother speaking some of the things that are good, but then he tried to muddy the water. He want to talk about taking George Weah project, but he will not tell it for the RIA road, right? But he will not tell the Liberian people that the money that George Weah used for the RIA to start the RIA road were money already budgeted for feeder road by any administration. So he will not tell the Liberian people that money that George Weah bring the money over. Eddie took him, even though I'm impressed, I support his decision to reroute that money and use it for the RIA road. But now he wanted the people to believe that George Weah sat in office during his 6-year term, lobby, raised that money to fix RIA road. It had nothing to do with any administration. But now he said, Baka will take credit for George Weah project, but George Weah took the money from Ellen to fix the road. The Liberian people shouldn't know that one. You see? So that's the problem we have here. When I put in trying to explain something, they don't talk the whole truth, they talk half truths. But I would say here and say I'm very disappointed that there's not much. I think the SONA should be suspended or private and canceled. Because what is it going to tell the Liberian people for real?
Come on.
I don't want to talk the last 6 years. I want the Liberian 2022.
Suspending the SONA, would that make any difference? What sort of message are we going to be sending?
At least that time people can sit down and do other things for themselves, or pay attention to other things, maybe listen to what he needs. The Liberian artists and sing that music on the radio station. Then they'll go and listen to that SONA. Because Nelson, like I said, I was in Liberia in 2022. The country was hot. I ain't gonna lie to you. The country was hot. I was there for 3 weeks. The country has been hard, right? But now it seems like it's worse. People, in the beginning, I try to give the administration some leeway by saying, they took over from a failing administration. But sometimes, man, you got to try to stop the bleeding.
Okay, no, Francis, I want to understand something from you. Do you still believe that the government took over from a failing administration?
Yes. And the reason being...
No, I'm coming. So if the government took over from a failing administration, how long do you think, how long did you expect the government to fix that which had already failed before addressing her own agenda she came with?
All right, good question, Nelson. For me, as administrator in this country, as a leader, right, you prioritize the needs of the people over the wants, right? You can live without your wants, but you can't live without your needs. Liberia has been struggling for a long time. So a good leader will come into office and say, you know what do my people need right now? It's time to focus on it. Look at when George rightly said, when you Google Liberia, nothing the sweet level what they will talk about or try to portray to the world doesn't come up. But you see people here being bashed with rocks, jungle justice, capital on fire. That's why you will see. Who in a right mind as an investor will say, let me ignore that and go to that country? The people are starving. They are hungry. Why can't you focus on agriculture? Our people are not, our 12th grader reading at 6th grade level. Why can't you prioritize education? Why can't you prioritize security and healthcare? Yeah, we all want roads.
20
right?
seconds.
But the people cannot be hungry. The people cannot be hungry. The children cannot be staying home, not going to school. But Martin College just posted today, 5 people in the administration, from the president to the speaker and a few other people, in 1 year made more money than the money that was sent to the entire health sector in the country. How does that make sense? So what are you going to tell Liberian people? That I'm doing good for you, for me and my cronies? We just made more money than the entire health sector. People go to hospital and get treatment, but we made more money than the entire health sector in the 15 counties.
Thank you.
Me and my buddies.
Let me hold you there and bring Vasco in quickly. Vasco, the SONA is on Monday. What do you expect? What are your expectations? I mean, what do you think the president is going to be telling the Liberian people on Monday?
Let's see. First of all, I want to say hi to you guys, and I'm happy to be back. You know, I was in Liberia for a month and a week, so I'm back. I've been a little bit busy, but I think I'll make my time to be on the show. But let's see, this SONA will make the president to be one of the best liars in the whole world, because he don't have anything to tell us. There's no positive thing he's going to say to us. And the one let's see.
Are you telling us tonight that after 1 year, 365 days, there's nothing positive that has happened in the country?
Nothing positive. Nobody can name one positive thing that happened in the country. Everything that happened in the country is black.
No, Vasco. Maybe you need to look around. You need to look up and look down, look east, west, north, and south, and then come back with this comment. Are you saying that over the past 1 year, 365 days, nothing positive has ever happened in the country under President Bouaka? Is that what you're saying tonight?
Nothing positive has ever happened under President Bouaka. Nothing. Let me tell you one thing.
No, I'm coming. Francis, can you say the same?
Nelson, I will give him credit for some of the road constructions that have been going on.
Which one of the road construction?
Oh man.
No, I'm coming. Let's have our brother to learn. I'm going to come back to you.
Well, I think I want to take credit again for the road in Lopa. Right now they are working on the road from Ganta to Saclapia area. That they are working on it. Now, Tenga is dry season. Our people can at least get a little hope that they'll be able to complete good stretch of that road. And then they will hopefully they can complete the Rawafi Highway, because that's the major gateway to our country. Because George, we are shamelessly started that road during election time, so he can take credit, use it as a campaign slogan. But hopefully he can complete that RI road and work on the Gata to Saclapia.
So for instance, when you look across the country, when you look across all sectors of the country, the only positive
you're eating my time.
No, I'm going to come back to you, Vasco. For instance, the only positive thing you see over the past 12 months is road connectivity.
No, it's kind of hard, right? Because this is not just his administration. Even when you go back to George, we are administration. Every major development talk about it in Montserrat County. So I would say also water and sewer. Muhammad Ali is trying his best. He's doing a lot better, but nothing. Come on, our country is better than that. We can be looking at all these little things that happen in we should be talking about bigger things happening in the country. Right, but we're not seeing any of these things.
Francis, I'm going to come to you. But Vasco, let's hear you laying your thoughts on this. You just said that over the past 12 months, there's been nothing positive that's happened in the country. Now, what do you expect from the SONA? What do you think the president is going to be telling the Liberian people?
That's what I'm saying. I'm expecting the president to come up with a lot of lies to the Liberian people, because this SONA is something that they're going to fix. They try to fix something that they know they are not doing. So he's going to stand up there and say all kinds of things that's not happening. That's why I say this SONA will just show to we the Liberian people that President Baka will be he's one of the best. He'll be one of the best liars in the whole world because everything that's gonna be coming from them will be so lies. You talk about positive thing. You know what I call positive thing? When you talk about positive things, it means something that will impact the life of the ordinary people. What have these men done that our citizens can be proud of today in 1 year? Eh? You want to go back to George Weah projects? They see project where I say it's international, then George Weah brought it's international. They won't do any good work on the road. What are your signature projects? What can you show as a United Party government? George Weah 1 year, he was able to show things. So there is nothing we can boast of. The 1 year have gone. We pray because Liberia is our country. We pray that the second year when he come back, he can wake up. No country will develop if the rule of law is on the dump side. We'll be here today, we'll come here tomorrow. If this president cannot stand out and look at the rule of law to be something that will govern his government, Liberia, nobody will come over there, investor will not come. Our people will continue to suffer until the 6th year. The whole country upside down. First, we check the place. Sovereign. You know, everything. And I told you the last time, where George Weah left Liberia have gone worse than ever before. You will not believe it that you can go to Liberia.
So as you were saying, as you were making your point, someone from the rescue mission just sent me a whole list of the government's achievement. Now, I want somebody from who supports the other side to send me the failures. Where you think the government failed? Because someone just sent me where the areas where they think the government made some strides, some gains. And if you have more, you can send them. All right. We're gonna compare the two tonight. We're gonna make some analysis around that as well. But I want to come to you, George. Just taking a look at the country, taking a broader look at all the different sectors. You want to talk about health. You want to talk about education. You want to talk about security. You want to talk about infrastructure as far as road and all those different things are concerned. Maybe you want to talk about energy. You want to talk about all of these things. I mean, what are some of the sectors you think the government has done well in? What are some of the sectors you think for the past 1 year the government has not done anything in that they maybe need to double up? And I mean, let's start from there before going to the other aspect. Where do you think the government has done well, and where do you think they failed for the past 1 year?
Now, Nelson, to be realistic, where I think this government has done well, if there's any, will be to continue what President Weah started, like the roads, Nelson. And I see my brother Jabate is animated when I talk about President Weah starting, the RI rule and making a bold step. Nelson, leadership is defined by the actions you take, the decisions you make. President Weah looked at the whole country. He knew that to build road in West Point was good because I used that road when I was there. Nelson, it's quite good. I went all inside West Point, not West Point, but Doe community, all inside there, Nelson. I was looking for a spare part for my car. I went all inside there. Nelson, it's a really good thing. And guess what? I saw the sport page that he built there, just like the one at the Invincible Park. I went there, Nelson. I was there as early as 9 o'clock, and people were using that place to play games. I was so impressed, Nelson. But let me go to the issue.
Yeah, we're asking about this government now. You're taking us back.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I started with. I said
in the comment section, as we promised you last week, today we said we will drop the link in the comment section to take a few of you on the show. So if you want to join in, just copy the link there in the comment section. And you can join us. Just click on the link, paste it in your current browser if you're using Android or in your Safari if you're using the Apple, and then you can join us. But go ahead, George.
Yeah, now see, and I said it. I said the only positive I've seen this government do is to take up the projects that President we have started, and those are the rules. Nelson, I'm close to rules, as you would know, so I know how important it is, for that part of the economy, because it's the entire political economy. The rules are part of that, and I think the good thing that this government has done is to follow President Weah in that direction of building rules. And what President Weah did, the bold step he took, like my brother, rightly articulated, was that President Weah took up the project that Ellen was taking on, and he said, "No, I'm not going to go that way." You see it? That is a bold step he took. He said, "No, I'm not going to continue to build feeder road when our major road to the only airport we got in this country is lying in rain, right?" So he took all that money. He said, "No, bring all that money here." There was stiff opposition for that. People were yelling and cursing and doing all type of things, throwing tension. He took that money and put it together and said, "No, we must get a good highway." And now see, the road is getting in shape. And I want to thank the crew from the Public Works Ministry, for supervising that road, because the contract is already in place. All you need to do is to supervise and to make sure that the people are doing what they're supposed to do. And that project is going on. So I'm really appreciative of that. But here's the failure of Nelson. Nelson, we can understand that the police are doing their best, but
Sorry,
still
George. Sorry to
people are
interrupt
dying
you.
mysteriously. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, George. So you are
Okay.
saying of all of the different sectors we mentioned, Emmy, welcome to the show.
Mhm.
Of all of the different sectors we mentioned, the only sector where you think the government has done well over the past 1 year, 365 days and counting, is
Mhm.
the area of road. And in fact, you are saying that even with the roads, it's not the working of the government, but is the government doing well to continue what President George Weah started? Is that what you're selling to the Liberian people tonight, Josh?
Now, see, I'm still articulating, the aspect. I just spoke about rules, and I'm going to come to
Okay.
healthcare, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. I think the major points for this government will come from the rules, Nelson, and that is clear. I don't know if you want to go against it, that's it. Bring your points. I'll come to healthcare, Nelson. Healthcare, Nelson, the minister came on the radio and said, all the hospital got medicine inside. Liberian people still crying that no medicine in hospitals. I did not go to hospital when I was there, Nelson. The good thing about me, I don't know why, maybe I need to move to Liberia, is that I'll be here, I'll be feeling sick, I'll be going to hospital, I'll be taking medication. When I get to Liberia, everything disappears. Nelson, I am jumping around and I'm having the best of my time.
You're
So I
old
don't
man
know
when you went to Australia, so what you expect?
I wasn't. I was 27 when I left Liberia, and yeah, and so the thing is, Nelson, I mean, so I don't know what the healthcare has done to the Liberian people, what impact it has, what change has come in that area, because the Liberian people are still crying that there's nothing happening in the health area, that no medicine in the hospital. And the same no medicine in the hospital was characterized by George Weah's presidency. And now the same thing is happening again. People are crying, there's no medication. So I did not assess that part, and I won't say anything, but I'll come to the police, Nelson. People are still dying mysteriously. Nelson, I was in Monrovia, and more than 5 persons died on the side of the road. That was reported. And we don't know what killed them. Some people said somebody was hit by car. Some people said body were dumped by the roadside, and a lot of things happen. Nelson, I would not tell you that. I will not sit there and say there's not improvement. Nelson, I see the traffic congestion. I think the IG has done a little bit of a good work on that one. That even in the morning, the way the traffic used to be that chaotic, it is not like that anymore. That they put roadblocks for keke not to go to SKD Boulevard, because that's where I have my shop. They'll block them, so they'll have place to stop. They don't come to the junction in the morning hours, so you'll not see that keke thing all over the place. So a little bit of a space there for cars to move around, because when I get there, I drive. So that's something I took into consideration when I was trying to grade them. So the IG is doing a good job when it comes to that. But Nelson, overall, the economy is bad. And I'll say, no, market one, I want to know what are you doing anything. They don't want to know what the cost supply and demand curve. They don't want to know any of those things. They want to make sure that people buy from them. But Nelson, if people are going to the market and going back with their goods, some people go to borrow, they take the goods for the Lebanese man to go and sell it, and the goods in their hand and nowhere to pay the Lebanese man. Nelson, the government is completely, I don't know,
Okay.
Useless when it
Thank you.
comes to the economy.
Thank
They
you.
are doing nothing, Nelson, and it's
Okay,
sad.
security.
It's sad.
Let's talk about security. Security.
Look, Nelson, I already spoke about security. I think the police is
Okay.
part of the security
So
sector.
okay, so you touched on
They are doing
infrastructure.
some good. They are doing some good, but people are still dying mysteriously, Nelson. And there's no investigation, Nelson. And guess what? Just exactly what happened to the seat of the government, which is the legislature. It got out by fire, and today people are guessing what the fire was caused by, even though electrical fault again happened a few days ago. So I don't know what's
Yeah, but
happening, Nelson. So
you
it's
probably guessing, but
ridiculous.
State Security is investigating. Maybe we need to give the investigation a chance. But
Nelson, that's the same thing. People
uh,
used to say everyday investigation. George Reatan, they say everyday investigation. We can see the investigation outcome. The same
let's
reason. That's what's
let's
happening
let's
now.
let's
So I don't
let,
know
let's
whether now it's more sensible to wait for investigation result or not to, because yesterday no one waited. Everyone was making the decisions on these things. So Nelson, it's sad, but our country is retrogressing. It's sad, but what can we
okay.
do,
But
Nelson? Until Blanca can leave
overall,
that place, nothing can happen there.
overall, George, I think you've given the government 60 over 100 here.
Wow. Nelson,
Based
no,
on
I did not.
based on
I did not.
no, but George, I'm just sitting and listening to you and analyzing the different scores you're giving the government. Now let me go back on it. You said in terms of health, the government is trying. They're not doing well, but they're trying. You said in terms of the economy is bad. You give the government 0 on that. Security, you think is bad, but on the flip side, traffic congestion, rule of law with respect to where motorcycles and keke should stop. The no-go zone thing is working. It's going on fine. The traffic congestion has reduced significantly. Road construction, road connectivity, new roads are being built. Now, you give the government pass on all these things. All right? So maybe we should say 50 over 100. But thanks a lot, Josh. I want to hold you there.
You're welcome, Nelson.
Because
I know you're working for your money. Go ahead, Nelson. Thank you.
No, I mean, come on. You can say all you want to say.
They better get a green, Nancy. Why would you get green?
Leave Nelson. Let Nelson go ahead. I think waiting for a smoothie.
We're gonna
get a government 3%.
Minister Pia was saying smoothie. Don't worry.
No, come on, man. Come on, George. We sit in this role to do what we do for the Liberian people. I'm no PR for anybody. Sometimes people say UP, CDC, and I agree that any way you want to say it. But let's listen to our brother Francis. Francis, what can you say about the different sectors? 1 year, SONA is right next door. Health sector, the educational sector, infrastructure, security, rule of law, the fight against corruption. What can you say?
I mean, nothing. I mean, for me, the first thing I would say, I'll go straight to education. Education has been a failure in the past and still continue to be a failure now. Our people don't prioritize education, and I think it's intentional. The Liberian people are not paying attention to it, but it's intentional. They don't want the Liberian people to be educated. They don't want them to get quality education because an educated man cannot be fooled. An educated person not be standing doing, I was there south every day, and from one administration to the next, and your life cannot change. So they use the lack of education to suppress the people. So it's intentional. From this administration to the past, the last two, it's intentional. So education is terrible. I was in Liberia in 2022, January. I saw kids as young as 7, 8 years old in the morning while they're supposed to be eating breakfast and getting ready to go to school. How would I mark in ahead? Going to sell. While we're driving around the street, those kids are running through traffic. And it continues today. It continues today. A lot of administrators said free education because they want to vote, but they didn't know how they would pay for the free education. This administration come, instead of trying to figure out what to do, the university is closed, and then the children are sitting on the ground. But you know, when people talk about the rule of law, the security, most of the time when they talk about their development or lack thereof, they talk about Montserrat County. Liberia is not Montserrat County. Security has been a failure from the last two administration to now. One of our representatives came on Sport Talks. There are 4 police officers in Riverside County. 4. Even if you get each other police officer Moa, they came to drive Moa or Tutu Ball. They came police that county. They came police that county. How you get a county of over 100,000 people? Over 100,000 people. 4 police officers, they don't even have gun. You even give a jet bomber, like I said, they can police that county safely. So you got all the ministers, all the managing directors, they're running around with security, with police officers. But the people that in other counties, people can commit crime in those counties, and you can hire another county and live the rest of your life, they'll never find you. Why should the people live like that? That's outside Montserrat County. They are Liberians too.
So for instance, you are done with rule of law, you're done with security, you're done with education as well. Let's talk about health. What can you say?
Nothing. You know, like John said, I don't know what John or you were talking about, mentioned somebody saying all the hospital have medication in it. I mean, I'm not hearing a lot of the things that were said in the last administration, where people are asked to go to the pharmacy when they go to the hospital, they go to the pharmacy. I've not been hearing a lot of that. So I would say it's a lot better than last time, but it can be a lot, it can be much better. It can be much better.
Okay.
So the health sector maybe is a little bit better, but Nelson, you talk about a rule of law. That police team, why they dismiss the police guy?
No, we're gonna come to that issue, Francis. We're gonna come to
that part of rule of law. Rule of law doesn't exist under the administration. I mean, I don't want to go back to the other administration. We're going to talk about this one. So I'll say the rule of law doesn't exist. Education doesn't exist. Security doesn't exist. That's why our country will continue to be like the way it is, because nobody outside of Liberia is going to take their time, especially non-Liberian, to say, let me go to that country and invest.
Thanks a lot, Francis. I want to hold you there, and let's bring Vasco in, and then Emmy will be next on this one.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson.
Vasco, where do you think this government has done well? The different sectors, and where do you think they haven't done? They haven't done well, and maybe they need to improve on health, education, infrastructure, security.
Nelson, they have done nothing in all the sector.
365 days, nothing.
Nothing. What can you show? Security. We right now in Liberia, the police, the people who are there to protect life and property, they're almost like a rebel group. Liberia don't have no free.
Police is like a rebel group.
But you don't see the BF. Liberia don't have no free. No citizen in the country free to protest any longer. Every time the citizen get in the street, the police will go and shoot live bullets. You saw the thing.
No. Vasco.
Vasco.
Kinjo.
How the people die in Kinjo? Let's see. Let's see the reality. How the people die in Kinjo? We just saw what happened to feed.
No, but Vasco, if you say that every time live bullet is used,
the people want to see
what we know.
They want to see nobody caught in there. They want to start shooting there. In the middle part of the morning hour. They are not professional.
In the middle part of the morning hour.
Yeah, in the morning, you got middle part too.
He laughed so much and he just all over the place when he got middle part too. I died in front of your face and talk to the
place.
So no. Vasco, when is the middle part of the morning hour?
You just make put here.
Oh, the middle part is there around 3 there, you know.
No, you didn't say the middle part. You said the middle part of the morning hour.
The morning hour there, around 3 a.m. The middle part of the morning hour. 2 to 3 between them. So let's see. Security, nothing. Because
let's talk about
seeing mysterious death in the country. We still see mysterious death. People still dying. Go to health. That's it. I hear somebody, my brother friends is saying, at least they try small. One labor just died a few days, football player. Just for simple something what is going to do in the hospital. JFK, they carry all one. Nobody could solve that problem. We see the nurses. I'm first time to see Redemption close. All the nurses, the doctors, the left Redemption Hospital was under this administration. The hospital was closed, the gate locked. Everybody to their houses. On a holiday. They say the health setup is
Okay, so
working.
let's talk about infrastructure.
Infrastructure is worse. What can they show? Nancy, you know that they say lying to the people here. They say, oh, Nancy, listen, no, Nancy. That they say lie, they keep lying to the people. And some of just came from Liberia. Oh, the government facing a road to free.
No, but Vasco, you came from Liberia. No, Vasco. Let me interject. You came from Liberia. You are indoor. According to you, you didn't come outside. You are inside. True or so? How
that's
how
not
did
true.
you know that infrastructure not working? Because it's a part of the reason why we didn't even meet was because you were indoor until you went back to the US.
When I got a tip out,
Cindy, welcome to the show.
When I got a tip out, that's the time I kept indoor. But when I went west, I moved around. Nancy, they keep lying to the people. Mo Ali doing well. In my whole community, they play my horse air. I the only person get point running in our hole. I was in our place there for almost 3 weeks, no water. I know, we set up just be like, my old man said, but when that the Mo Ali, they say Mo Ali doing well. We still down to that place. Who they say the poor boss, and no poor boss. 3 weeks, almost a month, we won't get water.
Call the old man.
No, Vasco, me, I know.
No, the I'm giving you reality right now. In my community, 11th Street, if you know anybody asking, say in December, let's say January, water went for almost 3 weeks. It couldn't come. My angel, that one of the person I can go pump water across there to the place. Every day she complaining. The people have done nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah, President, we are building houses, housing unit for people all over the place here, building the MPA, they're having a corporate office, LPRC, all this area there. We talk about infrastructure. Hey, you're looking at the parks and things. But you're not looking at maybe, I don't know how many stretch or road President, we are starting.
So when you talk about infrastructure, you mentioning President Joshua. You also want to talk about the condominiums on the Ralphie Highway. Is it what you including in the infrastructure?
And I went there, and you carry your drone there. You took your drone.
The infrastructure you help to hold the same for that you're constructing along.
Nancy, you took your drone to that place, and we came back on the show all the lies that people been giving, and we told them at that place that we had 17. Structure.
Thanks a lot.
People came here the last year 42. They still lying. Some of the lies, the president going to get.
Emmy, please go ahead. Let's hear your take on this. Now, the SONA is on Monday. What are your expectations? What do you think President Baraka is going to be telling the Liberian people? I just want to put yours all in one because we're about to transition. When you look across the different sectors of government, what can you say, Emmy? What are the areas? What are the sectors you think the government has done well in? What are the places you think they haven't been? The government hasn't done well that they will have to improve on. What are the successes and the failures in the 1 year period of this administration?
Okay, so hey guys, before I start, Nelson, I miss George Weah's song, President Weah's song, when he said, "Mr. Liar, man." I think we need to play that song on Vasco talking. Because you know what it is, and he's talking about money in the middle of the morning hour. He must, I must give it to George, right? George come in, he played on the politics, but George can get my head, I can be a little bit okay when George is talking, right? But when Vasco start, I lost all my thoughts. I swear to God. Everything I wanted to say, my whole head heading right now. I don't know where to start from. But Vasco just all over the place. That sitting title right over him more when you're in Liberia. Where he couldn't get us that why he never saw anything going on in Liberia.
Come on, man. Come on, Emmy.
When he came
What
on
do you
the
mean by
show,
sitting down while a man more? You know, come
he
on,
was probably in one of his Zion and he said he was on 11th Street. How can a entire 11th Street on the Vasco house be having pipe running through it? Can anybody want to sit here and can even sit here and listen to that? It doesn't make any sense. Nobody's saying that. I don't think Judge Bear has, I mean, the President Walker has done taking Liberia, flip it upside down. No. But I just need to know that what was it that Judge Bear left in place that Vasco saw that was so solid and the people were enjoying it. Everything was good and life was going well. And in 12 months, this government came to power and just destroy everything, and Vasco can't see anything in there. But he pipe that running through his house. That's the only thing he got it. I don't get it. What was it? He cannot even tell us. He just come in and just put a blanket. They done nothing. They done nothing. Okay, now say I'm not gonna bore you because
tell what your government do.
So,
tell what your government do.
So, Emmy, we're gonna go to the.
Tell what your government do.
No, guys, let's do this. We're gonna go to the sectors and maybe an overview of the sectors, but.
So when you are naming sector, you didn't name the energy. You didn't talk about LEC.
I don't want us to go there yet. Emmy,
why not?
What do you think? What do you think President Boakai is going to be telling the Liberian people on Monday, as far as the performance of this government is concerned?
Well, now I don't think the president is going to come in here and tell the Liberian people, or saying from the Liberian people, not come here and tell them that, oh, I've taken you from the slum. Everything is all rosy and everything is all bread and butter, and I've done everything. I don't think he's going to stand there and say that. But he's gonna. There's a few places that this government has done some things, right? When it comes to LEC, when it comes to, like my brother George said, the public work minister. I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, but George, I didn't say anything. Yeah, public works, we would say that, and then when it comes to water and sewer, he would say something good about that, and the education system. I think the only thing he's gonna probably say something about is the UL, trying bringing somebody in to help out to do to stop the bleeding that was already going on before he came, and stuff like that. But I don't really want to say that the whole sector is. Apart from that, maybe it has. I don't know. I don't want to say that, but I really haven't heard anything like different in that place and in our area, and I haven't really heard anything about like like a big difference in the healthcare. We still want something in there. In security, we heard something. Of course, you have like few people around that trying to make government looks bad, so they will do things. And there will be, some people there that are breaking the laws and stuff like that. Want to make our country looks bad. Of course, it will be bad. It will look that way, but we cannot say that nothing has been done because we have heard it from people that there are little things that have changed in our area too. So, I mean, we wait to see what he would say to come and tell us, but I don't think the way Vasco making it like the sky is falling. I don't think it's any of that. And I can give it to Judge for that, for at least trying to be honest about some things. And that's what we should all do. Sometimes we play politics a lot. We need to leave the politics a little bit and be honest about some things that have happened in our country and talk about it, because this is a serious conversation that we're having here. We're not doing a communist show to just be over nothing. Nothing. The whole country upside down. No, come on now. We can't be doing all of that. We have to be a little, a little bit something.
Nancy,
and
can I ask this?
A little bit.
Can I ask Ami?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Ami, I know your government have done something according to you.
Our government.
Okay, our government.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name
Then
Vasco.
go in like ugly.
Vasco,
So
I don't know what's going on with your internet. So we're gonna take Cindy. Cindy, go ahead.
someone you
Let's see.
no, let me land, Nelson. What's wrong with you?
No,
So
but no, Emmy.
Nelson, I'm
Uh,
clicking up and I'm
you
going. You always
landed.
doing this to me. You allow these guys to talk. Don't even go ahead, Cindy. Let me mute
You
my
you
mic.
wa- you're looking for your card now. That I think yellow or green card. What are you looking for now? So take 30 seconds and conclude. But honestly, Vasco had a question, but I don't know who's calling Vasco. Vasco will have to come back. Vasco will have to come back to say, no, I'm not accusing you, Emmy. So it's like
You
they say,
always say I'm doing it. I'm like,
everybody go down the water, and then somebody say, no, I'm not accusing you. It's like someone is calling Vasco whenever he wants to
go
ask
in
that
like
very
ugly. If I
straightforward
still
question,
want to talk about that,
but
so.
it's not going through. But Emmy, you can conclude, and then we take Cindy.
Yeah, so I know people talk about rule of law a lot, which is very important in the country. You have to have rules and laws to guide the citizens and stuff. But we come here and bash the president and the administration for not doing that. And then the little places that they're trying to do it, we also stand against it. We have people like so-called chairman in, we will resist. We will not do that. What do you call that? And we had our colleagues on this platform still, they were here and supporting this comment from that person. And now they're talking about rule of law, not doing it, rule of law, not doing that. So it's just supposed to be like one-sided thing, like it's supposed to make it look like it's a unity party and a CDC thing and not a Liberian thing. I'm confused. I don't know what they want. And when they're talking about rule of law, why it has to be if it's something that you're going against the law and they're trying to get you on there, then it's a problem. But when other people are doing it, then oh yeah, they should get them faster and they should run like something about to poke them in the eye. That's not. We should be real. If we really love our country, we have to be real. If we want to see the rule of law works in our country, we should want it for everybody, not just certain people. And wanting the president to interfere, then again, oh, when he does, oh, he's overstepping his boundary. I'm confused with Liberian people, and
All right,
I'm really still trying to figure it out. Thank you.
thanks a lot, Emmy. Let's take Cindy. Cindy, your take on this issue. So now
Well,
it's Monday. What do you think President Bouakai is going to be telling the Liberian people? What are some of the areas you think the government has done well? What are the successes and the failures that you can your that you can outline here tonight as we await the summit on Monday?
Well, Nelson and the rest of you, it's good to be here with you. Sorry I'm a little late. I was running from the gym, but it's good to be here. Nelson, it's good to look at what the president promised. What I believe the president will be speaking on. He will address the things he promised the Liberian people that he ought to achieve during his first year. And he will also then flag some of the challenges that he faced during his first year. So I like to look at some of the things the president promised that he was going to, or that he will achieve. His priorities that were outlined, and some of that include the economic development, healthcare improvement. The president talks about the educational reform, which I believe was actually a success so far, or at least it's not. I don't want to say it's a success. I take that back, but it seems that the president is heading in the right direction when it comes to the reform of our education. Now, we can look back then and see here that I believe when it comes to some successes, a major accomplishment that this administration have achieved so far, we can say that they will speak on the issue of infrastructure projects. The government initiated the road projects that is to cover about 783.5 kilometers, which will connect several different counties. We're talking about Bon, we're talking about Lofa, Bapuru, Nimba, Grand Jide,
and we can see that the road project is ongoing. There have been videos that I saw today between Ganta, Sekle PA, going toward Tapeta. That road is being reconditioned. In fact, asphalt pavement is continuing on that side of the country. So I believe that's something the government will flag. The GDP growth, we saw that our GDP grow a little better than where it was. It came from of 5.1%, and now the government took it up to about 5.6% as of January of 2025. So I believe that's something that the government will also outline, or the president will outline in his speech. We saw that some scholarships were paid during this administration first year. So I do want to believe that the president will also talk about the scholarship that they pay for international students. Now we have some students that came on this very same platform with us complaining about their scholarships or their tuition not being paid in places like Morocco, where they were, where they are. Some folks are in the Philippines, they were complaining. We had them on the show. So President Wakai did cover those scholarships from what we know. So I believe the president will address that as well. Now, let us focus now on some of the challenges, right, that the government faced, President Waka faced during his first year. And I will hope that the president will emphasize on this theme. Now, the major one is the crisis in the government, especially at the legislature. While it is true that the legislators or the legislative branch of government is a separate branch of government, but there has been a major crisis that stalled the works of the Liberian people. And considering that the president is the commander-in-chief of the republic, I will hope that he will highlight the challenges that branch of government has been facing. And maybe he can talk about some of the on-the-ground work that the president, has been doing to address the issue. We can see that the first few months of the government, they struggle with their economy a little bit because of what they took on, right? So not everyone is pleased with how the country is, looking in terms of whether everybody's getting, their market sold or people are getting their salary on time. So I believe the president will address that issue of the hardship in the country. Things are not going well with a lot of people. So I believe the president will address it, but also give hope that in this new year of the administration, they will try to focus on bringing private sector, improving the economy, bringing more jobs in the country, that so people can have jobs and Liberian people can be able to feed their family. Now, the issue of corruption is a major one. It's a major one. And I will hope that the president will address this issue of corruption. We are still seeing the corruption cases ongoing. We saw Amin Moda, had to be let go. Pretty much he resigned. We know that, maybe it was the president that encouraged that resignation. But that was a big corruption case that was, linking around here. And other cases within the government that I will hope that the president will recognize that there is corruption in this administration and what he is doing as a president to address the issue of corruption. And lastly, let me end on this. The rising substance
for 10 minutes.
Rising substance abuse, Nelson and my colleagues, it's a big thing. During the president, we administration were crying, we are bring drugs, we are bring drugs, we are bring drugs. In fact, Kush and Kush and Kush was the music of the day. Now we have zombie, we have Kush. I'm hearing now we are also bringing mosquitoes. There's a new drug coming here called mosquitoes. I don't know. So the issue of rising drugs intake in the country or drugs abuse is massive. So I will hope that the president will recognize that he has failed as a president. So far, the DEA has failed the people. That he will tell the Liberian people that he's restructuring the DEA. He's going to empower the security sector to really protect our borders, the entrance into our country, so that drugs entering Liberia can be minimized, and therefore that eventually the intake of substance drugs, illegal substance drugs, can be minimized as well. So Nelson, we can only
Well,
predict, but I look forward to the speech on Monday.
yeah, and you're right. We can go on and on talking about what our expectations are, and it's very important because
Nelson, can you please?
Yeah,
Sorry,
there's
Nelson,
so
can you
many things
remind
said.
Lynn Laporte that the
So
link
many
is
things said this
in the comment
is not
section.
true.
yeah, so link like yeah, the link is in the comment section. We opening
So many things said this
it
not
up
true.
for a few of our
Cannot
folks to
speak
join
to.
us tonight. So if you want to come on the show, come on. This is a special edition, especially one close to the one close to the State of the Nation address.
Everything it makes sense more than you're talking.
Guys,
No
come on,
problem.
guys. Come on,
That
guys.
rescue.
Oh yes, but again, Cindy, you outlined a whole lot. And it's very important to maybe go back on some of those things. Like I stated from the very beginning of the show, and most all of us here already know, State of the Nation address is not campaign message anymore. State of the Nation address is not a time where you make new promises. It's more like a review of your performance, the head of state, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. After we gave you the job, you've been doing it. And the way democracy and government and all these things are arranged, if it was working that way for most African countries, it would be good. Imagine all the 5 million people in the country, from each district, they elect one person to speak for them from the 73 district. The 15 counties have 2 persons each to represent them at the first branch of government where laws are being made. All the people come together and elect one president and one vice president. I mean, you can see the full representation of the Liberian people across government. And then the president, who happens to be the head of state, will have to come and say how he been managing the country. So yeah, Cindy, you went on some of the promises. And I think this is one time when President Boakai will be going back on some of those things, the campaign on some of the things he told the Liberian people. And what have they done to address some of those very issues that they promised? If there will be any promise made, then it should come from the backdrop of how much the government has delivered on the previous promises made, especially during the electoral period. And that's why the State of the Nation address is very important. I see few of our folks here are trying to come on. Yes, as we said, Vasco, you want to say something quickly?
Yeah. I want to just debunk some of the things that my brother Cindy said. Like I said earlier, look.
You want budgets?
Anybody that want back in budget, anybody that want to come out here and defend.
Okay, so William, let's bring William
and say some positive things that this government have done. You just make yourself be like a liar to the Liberian people. Okay, President Bogart, with all his campaign promises, and also any talking about scholarship, here go. He pays some people's scholarship. Who are those people? Have we seen them before? He talk about rule of law.
Vasco.
Eh?
I'm coming. Does the
People know that people are Vasco?
Why would you even mention scholarship? You all know the president office scam the Liberian people when it comes to scholarship. The first lady scam the Liberian people when it comes to scholarship. Why would you even mention scholarship about this government? You saw the big thing all around here. Scam Liberian people, took their money from them. Then you can tell us say the president doing well when it comes to scholarship.
No, Vasco, I think it's fair to say that the office of the president, the
president not scam people.
Vasco, I mean, you need to calm down.
Not scam. It wasn't a scam.
Okay, so we're gonna come to that. I want to welcome
recent.
I want to welcome.
Let's have an intellectual discourse.
Yeah, I want to welcome. I want to
We're not
welcome
giving
our.
chance to talk because I want to. Most of the thing my brother said. I mean, he's talking about infrastructure. Where are the infrastructure? Everything we talk about here at President, we are paying an rule. That's our project.
Yeah, we are still in power, so let's continue.
That we are projects.
Okay, so guys, we have to make
show
progress.
us your signature project in
we
1
have
year.
We have to make progress, guys.
You can't show one.
We have to make progress fast.
Yeah,
Thank you. William, you want to come in? I want to welcome William. I want to also welcome Mark to the show.
Let me tell you.
I see Trokon is trying to join in as well. Trokon is here.
Bring all of them. All of them come.
Welcome to the show. It's good to
Pastor,
have you.
Be quiet for a second.
You know Trokon like your brother. You fighting Trokon already.
We're going to take just one more person in case anyone else wants to join the show. We're going to take just one more person. But William, let's hear on this issue. Guys, welcome to the show. Trokon, Mark, William. I think this is Trokon's second time. William's second time as well. Mark on the show for the first time.
I thought the other two ran away already, but he came back anyway. Go ahead.
Come on, guys. William, what do you think President Bouaka is going to be telling the Liberian people on Monday?
Firstly, I want to tell each and everyone hello, and I'm so happy to be among you guys. And then today we're discussing our own country. No matter where we are, that's our motherland. We have to love our country. Probably we might not be happy of who leading or what going on, but nevertheless, we have to love our country. As of Monday, what I'm thinking of President Bouaka is saying, I'm not really thinking of much to be said, but as we all know how the country is widely being kind of linked to something, but most of his talk that I believe would actually be based on where he took the country from and where he tried to lead it. That is, you see, government is continuated. Like, as I sometimes feel confused when Vasco talking about signature project. If you talk about signature project, you're saying that the road project is from Joy. I don't think you know what you're talking, because all those signature projects it start from Madam Salif and Joe Bouaka. Now, Joey came, he was not care for it. The first thing he was care for was his private houses and his friends' private houses.
William, I know you want to debunk or you want to address some of the issues.
Yeah, so I'm driving at my point there saying.
Yeah.
I'm driving at my point.
To that point to say what you think President Bouaka is gonna.
Yeah, one major thing. Although I'm a partisan, I love President Bouaka, but for now I don't want to lie to you. The major thing President Bouaka will be saying over there would be where he took the country from and how the country was. That's all. That's a major thing he's going to emphasize on. And then
where do you think he took the country from?
Thank you.
Where is the country right now?
He took the country from a very deplorable condition, and he tried to erase it. You know, one thing about we Liberians is we believe success come in one day time, but success will never come in one day, and success can never come in 1 year if you're not working towards it. Now, the major thing over there that we try to work on, President Bouaka tried to work on, one major thing is the economic system and the agriculture system, which of course we know. And I've been following Spoons, and I've been hearing what agriculture is coming to do or what going on.
Okay, William. For the sake of time, sorry, I'll interrupt you every step along the way because I want us to get there and move on. You say economy and agriculture, the government you think has done well. What about the economy? You think President Bouaka is going to tell the Liberian people about?
Oh, that's why I keep saying to you, one major thing President Bouaka will be saying to the Liberian people is where the economy status was when he took it, and how far it come.
And how far has it come?
Yes, how far has it come? So, like, if you look at our economy for the past, like, from 2020, let's say 2018 or to today's date, let's say 2023, our economy was not good. Let me not lie to you, but right now things progressing. And like I will tell you, nothing, it will not progress in one day time. I can remember the last time when I was in Liberia, like let's say 3 years ago. When I was in Liberia, the last gasoline I bought was up 1,000 plus. But right now, if you see the system over there, gas is like almost 600 and something. So I think progress making for the economy side. Now, when it comes to infrastructure development, we making progress. I just following your page here, your Spoon Network page. I just following it. I see some good development going on. So we must applaud them. So I believe President Bwaka actually will emphasize on those little projects that come on, and then the arrangement of all those projects that are yet to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Mark, let's hear your take. What do you think President Bwaka is going to be telling the Liberian people on Monday?
Okay, Nelson, thank you so kindly, and hi to everyone in studio this morning, because I'm in Liberia and it's around 2:33 this morning. So I'm very, very happy to be
Welcome,
part of
Mark.
many brilliant people on the show. This is my best show. I don't sleep because of this show. I always try to listen to it, and I've been unfortunate to to come in studio. So I'm very, very
Who's your
happy.
favorite? Me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I just like how you can do a Vasco. Yeah. So you not because you are female, but you're one person I hold in so much high esteem, and I like your articulation, your intuitive, and your
I mean, go
brilliance,
ahead. Give it again.
your
Go ahead.
understanding of the issue, everything. So I really love it.
Welcome, Mark. Thank you. I was just
Yeah.
joking, but anyway, thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. So
Don't be jealous, George.
for me, I'm neither from the. Let me just make a disclaimer. I'm neither from the CDC, neither from the Unity Party, and I've consistently supported Alexander Cummings from 2017 even up to
Oh, okay.
2023.
So you guys are the one who got the 7% 2017, and you got 1% in 2020
That is not
2023.
a topic for discussion tonight. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So yeah, Nelson. Yeah, there are factors in Liberia. There are different factors at play. But we'll deal with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that another day. But today, I think the topic is about what we expect from the president during his SONA on Monday. You see, basically, development is not an event. It's a process. And like what my brother William was just talking about, you see from where the president, this United Party took the country from the hands of people who really damaged this country to the ground. The CDC government destroyed this country to the ground. So to get it to the point where we hope to see it, it requires a complete foundation that the United Party government have to lay. And that is a process that the president, Joseph Yimabweka, started. And on the issue of the economy, education, road development, what I want Vasco to even understand here is that you have to look at the mantra through which the government came to power. When you listen to the president from the campaign time, the president told you road, 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 road. And when you look at the arrest agenda, it clearly tells you where this government is focusing. So now, since it tells you where this government is focusing, let's look at the issue of road. Let's look at the issue of electricity. Where you left the issue of electricity in this country. I'm a water producer. I depend on LEC to produce my water. I depend on the government current to produce my water. But during the CDC, their government time, electricity was completely abandoned. But today, I can know exactly when current will come in red light in order for me to produce my water to make my cold water to sell. If current is not coming, it's scheduled in the way that in red light. If current is not coming in the day, I know that I should wait in the night for me to produce my water. But during the CDC time, when you see it, you see it. You don't see it, it's not coming. Even on the issue of a rule, most of the time when people come to Liberia, they say, "Oh, I was just in Monrovia. I was just in Monrovia. I was just in Liberia." You come in Liberia, you sit down in Cinco. You don't go anywhere. I worked with LMDI before. I traveled in the length and breadth of this country, the 15 countries. For more than 7 years, every year I go in those 15 countries to run the students program. Go right now in the Southeast. Roads were unaccessible. People could not easily have access to even Green Crew, to Sastan, where the former president Joshua is from. To even move from Bagdeville, before reaching to Bagdeville from Greenville to go to Sastan. Go and see how deplorable that place is. The beautiful landscape going to Sastan.
Going to say tomorrow?
Vasco,
Wait. Vasco got to give me a chance. No, but I'm telling you the progress that this government have made in the course of 1 year. But you trying to compare the 1 year with 6 years. But I'm telling you the progress this government have made. The progress this government have made. Joseph Boga going to tell you that he have laid a complete foundation for 1 year. While you guys completely destroy, he have laid a foundation, rule of law, sanitation, agriculture, road, education, everything. This first year was just a year of foundation. But what I can tell you, the president going to tell you the progress he have made in laying the foundation for this area on the arrest agenda, for this area, the progress that he have made and laid a clear foundation, the roadmap, and where he will be taking the country from for this 2025, wherein will be operating. This government will be operating in its own budget, where they have outlined all of those things that they want to achieve. This 1 year, this 1 year was
What's Mark talking about here?
Yeah, guys, I want you to please give. Listen, Mike is one of our ardent followers. Mike came on the show. Mike just told us.
He's giving me headache because he's just, I don't know.
George, I'm coming. Vasco, George, I'm coming. Mike just told us most times you have sleepless nights just watching or listeing to the show. For God's sake. We decided that at least on a weekend, we'll put the link in the comment section for the people who watch the show to just have few of them come on. Mike came on for the first time and you guys want to interrupt him, jump on him, guys. You may not like what he's saying.
Because they can't stand the honest truth. That's why. Go ahead, Mark. I'll give you my time, brother.
I'm going to take our brother Choko next. I see James Conner here now. You jump on Mark.
See what I did to the boy, did I? That's what I did.
You know, but it's a
we
great
have
thing.
A Nazi. We have a Nazi, Peter.
I want to welcome James to the show. Thanks for joining. Is it James or Jeremy? I'm not seeing the names right. Yeah, that's James.
James.
Chokon, go ahead. Welcome to the show.
Jeremy's getting the light, man. We can't see his face.
Nesby said no hat on the show. I see Chokon.
Yeah. Right. I think we're doing this together. Chokon, we appreciate if you were to.
Chokon is not a panelist.
Okay, after my presentation, I can go ahead with that. But thank you very much for bringing me on once more.
Guys, let's protect
thank you
the brother.
Thank you for being nice. So I think during the time of the election, it is a period where all of the political parties in Liberia should come and present their best ideas so that our people can select who will be able to take our country from point A to point B. And that's someone who's going to take our country from point A to point B and then back to point A. So regardless of our political affiliation, I think when we come to some of these national discourse, we should be able to discuss Liberia and forget about our political alignment. And with that being said, let us take a clear look at Liberia. For the sake of the argument, the Liberian people didn't vote President Weah back for the second term because they said that they had some expectation that he didn't meet. So, holding all factor constant, the person who they selected to be president, or you can say elected, they felt like he could have done everything President Weah could not have done for Liberia at that point. President Weah came with his agenda. And in one of his speeches, he said that the issue about drug and young people being engaged into drug activities, he considered that to be a national emergency. As of this point, I'm not too sure what the government has done about that emergency. because there have been no practical action taken by the government. Because if a president make a policy statement declaring something as a national emergency, it means that the government is going to attract its entire attention in that direction to make sure that that particular issue is being addressed systematically. And that tells you how the healthcare sector of Liberia is broken. And I'm not squarely shifting the blame on President Bwaka, but President Bwaka have a responsibility to take the healthcare sector from where he made it to a better point. And some of us, when we come to this discussion, we are extremely passionate about Liberia because I don't want to live here forever. I want to be proud to move back to Liberia, have my kids there. I want them to attend school in Liberia. They should be able to attend the hospitals in Liberia. What were the issue with the healthcare sector in Liberia before President Bwaka took over? We have the issue about human resource for health. We also had the issue about health equity, where people in rural areas were receiving less quality of service as compared to the guys who were in Monrovia and some of the urban areas. And as a result of that, I don't know how many of us read the current situation of children report from UNICEF that says that we have several thousand kids being dead doing childbirth. So during the State of the Nation address, I think if Waka is an honest old man, he's going to take the podium and apologize to the Liberian people that he have been a laissez-faire president. He overlooked the tax of the presidency, or he overlooked it, and probably after becoming president, it overshadowed his strength. Let us be honest. Education. I heard someone talking about education. There have been a lot of challenges in the areas of education. And this is a serious issue that we are not talking about in Liberia. The issue of bribery is taking over our country, and we are also not taking into consideration that the kids who are in elementary, junior high, and senior high that are giving teachers $5 and $10 for grades, they are growing up to be corrupt officials, regardless of whoever going to be president of Liberia. That is important. It's not about Unity Party and CDC. We should be thinking about the country that we should be living in. With the young people, we should be thinking about how Liberia has more than 60% youthful population, how we the young people are going to come together and see how best we can try to project a productive young person to serve in one of the active positions of Liberia. So what are we talking about Unity Party and CDC? The Unity Party government failed Liberia for the first year. It's inarguable. There's not a
What about
single
the
second.
CDC?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I'm saying, are you saying both the Unity Party and the CDC failed the government, that failed the people?
No, I said the Unity
Unity
Party failed
Party.
Liberia for the first year. I
Okay.
was clear about it. And if you want to compare the first year performance of the Unity Party and
No.
the CDC, I think we can also open a separate discussion because within
Yeah,
one year,
it's going to be a whole different.
President Weah was being healed all over the world.
It's going to be a whole different discussion. But
Yeah.
Trokon, just to conclude, again, I want to go back on this. What do you think President Bwakai is going to point to as his major achievements for the first year? The areas which perhaps the government did not do well that they'll have to improve on.
You know, the biggest failure of the government was that Bwaka President Bwaka didn't understand that government is continuity. When President Weah was leaving office, there was an executive order that I made mention of. And that executive order could have transformed the entire Liberia. It could have increased the employment rate to almost 100% in Liberia. President Weah said in that executive order, and I'm being practical, he said in that executive order that nobody should export raw materials from Liberia to any other country, which means ArcelorMittal, the Firestone, and all of the concession companies in Liberia that are operating, that executive order compelled them to establishing plant and factories in Liberia. If those plant and factories, if Baka are going to come stand by that executive order, if Firestone cannot take the rubber from Liberia, they will not allow the latex to spoil. They will be compelled to establishing factories in Liberia. And if that was going to happen, our young people was going to get a job. We should understand that the reduction of poverty and the maintenance of political stability depends on better youth employment.
Thank you.
Can I just conclude, please? So the government should have made sure that they address all of those cogent issues that they criticized the CDC about, and they came to power. Right now, we are not seeing anything. Thank you so much.
Nelson, I'm sorry to jump in, but this
No,
brother.
my hand was up first. I was in
Guys,
first.
let's
Go
do
ahead, Amy.
this. Let's do this. No, Emmy is not going ahead yet.
No. See, you took my time. At least you gotta give me 30 seconds.
Guys, let's do this.
Let's allow
our brother to learn. He was in flight. He went off. Just jot down the thoughts. We're gonna come back to you, but let's allow Mark to learn. James is here. He's here to make a comment, and then we're gonna take another round. Maybe in the next
James,
round.
you need to increase your lighting, man. We can see your face, James.
Oh, like really?
Maybe you need to face the light.
Yeah, turn your camera around to face the light.
Your thing to count the show that small thing, eh?
But Mark, go ahead. Mark, try to conclude, please.
Okay, yeah. So in short, what I was saying here is that the president have a lot to say on Monday, based on what he have done, and he's going to talk about the increment in civil servant salary, specifically in the.
Okay, so I think that's the issue.
Yeah, well.
Mark has an issue with his internet. Yes.
When you lie, now what can happen?
It's a challenge with joining the show sometimes in Liberia. But James, you want to go on? Just take 1 minute 30 seconds, and then we're gonna go back to Emmy and just make the final round.
Okay. Thank you, Nelson, for having me on the show. I think this is an opportunity to see how best we can contribute to our nation. I actually admire Trokon, the way he started his conversation that we should be apolitical, we should pay more attention to Liberia. Liberia is our common denominator, but now he ended the conversation as being more political as he even started the discussion. The issue of Firestone, you said President Weah had executive order that no one should export rubber from Liberia, raw rubber. But it was the same George Weah who approved. His administration gave Firestone monopoly to buy rubber and export, only Firestone. So you think that executive order is in line with his decision to have given Firestone the monopoly that they should buy rubber at any price they wish? I don't know how does these two things align. Then coming forward, what will President Boakai talk about? Well, at least we know that the country had been out of order for a very long time, 6 years.
Did you just say the country has been out of order?
Of course. We know what happened in 6 years. Nelson.
Is it out of order? What do you mean? We had a sitting president. We had a sitting government, democratically elected government in power. How did... Okay.
We saw how the country was being run, how the country was being operated. You heard from government officials. If I think by that time Spoon was fully functional, you heard the story from the former superintendent of Bon County, who said the country was being operated and run by Jefferson Koji, Nathaniel McGill, and Samuel Tue. I think you still have those recordings from Bon County. You had a lot of government officials coming up with this. Esther Walker. You have a lot of government officials coming up with these things. And we also had the country was being operated. We know what happened, right? But now I think the president has some gains. We can say that. Civil servants are expecting pay rise in this new budget year.
So James, are you telling us that President Boakai is going to tell the Liberian people on Monday that civil servants are now getting the salaries? The country is now on the right path. People can express themselves freely. The economy is in a better position than what it was years back. Is this what you think President Boakai is going to be telling the Liberian people on Monday?
Well, I personally think that the country is going back on the right track, because just imagine if United Party first 12 years were let's assume we're ground level, and CDC took us like 6-7 feet below ground level. And now to come back to ground level where we used to be and start going above the level we used to be on is a process. It's not something that is automatic, right?
Thank you.
So we are gradually going back. At least now, although the medications in the hospitals are not enough, but we hear people are saying, yes, there are regular supplies of medication in the hospitals. Yes, maybe it's not enough as we expect them to be, but we have them coming.
People say
right? Vasco made mention of a football player who died in Liberia recently because of a spinal cord injury. I don't know if CDC government had experts for those sort of operations in Liberia that got damaged just within a 1 year. I don't know. Maybe he can speak better to that. There's a guy who died, I think a 17-year-old or rising footballer who died from
just tell me the main presentation.
From Black Man Warrior. I think he was playing for Black Man Warrior, 17 years old, one Camara. They say he has spinal cord injury. I don't know if Vasco government had such operation in Liberia before that. He is blaming that on the government. So I don't know. And also we can say like
spinal cord injury can just kill you, man.
I'm currently a bilateral student in China from Liberia. You can't believe that even when we got our scholarship to come to China, we have to pay our own flight ticket. We have to buy our own flight ticket because the CDC government could not afford to buy our ticket. The same CDC government, when they took over from United Party 2018, the allowance for bilateral students around the world was $350. Can you imagine how much they left? $75. See the margin. So these are some of the gains that CDC made, that at least the United Party government came back to at least reverse to get things back on course. So these are some of the benefits that Vasco government left for us that the current government is trying to at least bring afloat. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Chokon, not Chokon, but Mark, you want to just take 30 seconds to learn because we want to do the final rounds across the table.
Yeah, I realize when I'm about to talk some sedition in the corner, calling my number directly and just to sabotage my internet. But how be it, we manage it and we put for our points.
You're accusing somebody on public platform like this. That is anyway.
So, in a nutshell, this president have a lot to say on Monday, and all of those gains that have been made, he's going to outline them and his plan for the next fiscal year, which he will be operating his own budget. So we hope to listen to all of those things be outlined. And for me, I'm seeing them, I'm feeding them, and I know that the country is on the path of making tremendous progress this 2025.
Did you mention from the onset of a presentation that you are a Unity Party partisan?
No, I told you that I've consistently supported Alexander Cummings. I supported Alexander Cummings 2017.
Cummings will be sad tonight.
It's up to you. I know that Cummings
saying all these things.
Oh yes, I don't have to be a blind loyalist. I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I'm feeding what the government.
No Cummings supporter will stay outside.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can see nothing bad.
Well. Thanks a lot, guys. I want us to transition a bit.
Really?
But next year will transition when the people most of the things they say are so lies.
But everybody dying like bro. So
yeah, they all can bring campaign team because the whole United Party team, most of the things they say are so lies.
But guys, we can spend the entire show on this talking point. Okay, so
you brought in here to tell what Baga was saying.
We have another
discussion.
Vasco, let's do this.
Vasco, you gotta let the conversation go. You gotta be animated on the show, okay? Let it.
We that just get it. One day here we keep here. Vasco, let's talk what we want to talk. They just didn't want to know that, bro.
So yes,
so the one more they went there for they there 24/7.
That's it. Go ahead, Papa.
We need a transition. We need a transition, and if you have an injection to make, a response or whatever, we can take you just before we transition quickly. So, Francis, I saw your hand up. You want to go ahead quickly? Just take 10 seconds. Let's hope you can operate within the time because I have the time.
My brother Chokon, you come on here talking about the president. We have did this humongous gesture at the end when he was walking out of office with his moratorium. He was there for, if that idea was so brilliant that would create brings 0% unemployment rate in Liberia. He was elected in 2017, took office in 2018. What was that brilliance? He didn't do it. He got paid football fee. All when they play, while Nelson Puzo as sting like that, they put beautiful park when Nelson Puzo that the brilliance. He kept all that brilliance for the end of when they kick him out of office. They say he'll create 100% job. Why did he do it in 2018? So the culture could be like Chula like Miami, like he said the culture of Miami.
Jabate.
Okay, thanks a lot. I want to hold you there. Choko, quickly.
Jabate. So Jabate, that is not the way in which you argue policy issue. Okay. So
I'm going to come to you next.
The president presented an executive order. So your counter argument could be whether the executive order was in the best interest of Liberia or not. So can you tell us whether it is good for Liberia or not? Because the idea was to prevent the guys from taking our raw materials. So whoever become president, why they couldn't continue on the same footing?
No, your issue is ugly propaganda because you
No,
are
my
not coming
issue
for a
is
good place.
executive order is
You are
not Liberian
not coming
interest.
for a good place. You try to pin Josh Ray as a
Thank
smart guy, good for Liberia, that presented something that
But
good
he
for the
is.
country. But
What
he
are you talking
did it.
about?
Thanks a lot,
Why
guys.
did he
I
do it
want
in
to
the
hold you
beginning?
both there. I want to hold
Go
you
on.
both there. Let's take Cindy. Cindy, go ahead. I saw your hand up. Go ahead quickly, sir.
Nelson, we are on a very big platform, and I just want to encourage some of the brothers. You know, when Trocon was speaking, we were very patient. Prior to Brother Trocon speaking, when some of us were outlining our take on the topic, we were being disrupted, we were being interrupted, not by Trocon necessarily, but by folks who disagree with us. What I want to share here, we are having an intellectual discussion here, intellectual discourse. You do not necessarily have to agree with me. So, just be patient. When your time comes, you can express your ideas. But the people need to listen to us. We are not in the market. We are not running political campaigns. We have people with different political ideologies and different feelings on these topics. Just be patient. Your time will come. But Vasco, you've been very disruptive tonight. Please.
Thank you. Josh,
nobody
let's hear you.
Nobody
No,
interrupted you.
Vasco,
So, guys,
we've not come to you yet. Please be
one of the
patient.
things that I'm trying to project here is that tonight is about how people feel that, their opinion about this government. So I'm not going to change anyone's opinion, about, what is unfolding. I think my brother Mark said it. He works in the land of breath of Liberia. He knows that the 1 year has been successful. Thank you, Mark. Look, I don't know whether the market woman agrees with you, but it is what he said. So let's just expedite our own opinions. Let's just put it out there. But I know that this government has done nothing. I think President Bouaka is a failure, and he's not going to be saying anything that's going to make sense tomorrow or whatever he's going to come to speak.
Josh, let's
Thank you.
put it this way. You came to Liberia for 1 month. You spent 1 month in Liberia, experiencing the reality in Liberia. Mark here lives in Liberia. He does business in Liberia. He gave his own reality about the situation. And I respect the both views, and then let
But
the public.
Nelson, let me give you a quick instant. Let me tell you, when you're Mustang, you will not know. The person who will come and sit down by you.
So that the
Mark is used to that. Mark is used to that. So you would not understand anything different, When you're Mustang, you can know. Somebody who can sit inside you for 1 minute, the person will know you're Mustang.
So what you're saying is that Mark doesn't understand the reality.
He doesn't know what development is.
You see the man so used to
He doesn't
suffering from
know.
CDC time that he don't know what development is.
Because he's sitting inside there.
Let's put you there.
He's
Thank
sitting
you.
inside there.
So much that they don't know what good thing is.
Thank you, guys. Let's take William, and then we're gonna take Cunning. Yeah, William, go ahead.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you. Nelson, I just appealing to Vasco, George, and Trocon. This thing can happen on a spoon show. The same way they many Liberian people always say citizens are not good people, that you people can cause a problem. We just get at least 2 hours on this. I didn't want 1 or 2 hours on this show here. We not coming on your show every day. You guys come here every day to discuss what matters to you guys or what matters to Liberians. Bro, I'm appealing to you guys. You just give us the late time. Let us talk what we want to
Yeah,
talk.
but you get it done now, but you talk anything here,
No,
you
I'm
advance in a minute.
no. I took the I
you
took
use all
the
the time
1
to
minute or
plan
10
ahead.
seconds to appeal to them because they kind of being disturbing everyone at all. And Choko, I have a question for you. Uh,
Firstly, apologize to me for lying on me. I didn't
I
interrupt
will
anyone.
not apologize to you.
No, but you just lied on me. I didn't interrupt anyone, to be honest.
I
You can't
said
do that to me.
Choko, Vasco, and Joyce. I trying to say sedition as a whole. So just leave it.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
you just
let's make
hastily generalize.
Choko,
But go
Choko,
ahead.
please. Okay, sorry for that, bro. I have a question for you. What's determining you knowing that you fail?
So failure is when you set an agenda to accomplish, and your accomplishment is far below average of your implementation. And if you try to contextualize to the case of President Bwaka, when he campaigned, the platform that he presented to the Liberian people, he didn't even achieve not even 0.5% of what he had on the platform. He criticized everything President Weah was doing. And I already thought by now the government would have had an alternative to this pre-static free tuition policy President Weah introduced, which is one of the best things that happened for our friends in the interior. Maybe you guys in Liberia or wherever you are, your parents have money, but I understand the challenges associated with living from Irrele River Sets County, coming in town without having anyone, going to UL fighting to register. And I don't know whether you guys attended UL before, because at UL, one of the major issues we had was that to register for a single class, you would take about a week. President, we have introduced the online registration portal. If you haven't
So they
experienced
play
it
you live in
before,
university that are free?
I'm sorry.
They play you live in university
You
that are
ask
free?
question, look at you see trouble.
So university is not free where I'm attending, but there are some free schools and there are some free programs. So that is the reason why you should be applauding We Are, because President We Are brought free tuition program for Liberia, and
thank you guys.
that is unique to our economic condition in Liberia. In
Okay,
America, all the 16-year-old kids are working. The 20-year-old men in Liberia are not working. How would they pay the school fees?
Let's take James. James, go ahead quickly. Mark,
Yes,
we're gonna come to you.
I still come back to Trukon and his moratorium from the president on a rubber leaving the country.
Mhm.
Before you come up with a policy as president, you should do a little bit of research to see what are the steps to follow to get to where you want. So if you came out today, President, because we are almost out of the presidency, say, okay, I'll put moratorium to increase the economic hardship in the country. So if they don't export raw rubber, the country will have face hardship. What was his information to come up with such a decision? Because when he placed a moratorium, by the time the new president came in, it was the same rubber brokers who started appealing to the president to relax the tension on the moratorium, because they were being affected even more than Firestone. Firestone was not exporting rubber. It could not affect them because they are a very big company. They could not export maybe for 3, 4, 5, 6 years. They are not affected. But if our local farmers don't sell their rubber to Firestone for a month, do you know the impact? Do you know the implication on the farmers and the economy? So the moratorium that President we have placed on Firestone, it was not in the interest of the Liberian people. It was for his own personal bluff. Okay, since the American people did not support me, since I feel I'm betrayed by the American, I will make sure Firestone will not export rubber and they will feed the weight. That was all. It was not for the Liberian people. There was nothing in that moratorium to benefit the Liberian people.
Thank you, James. Let me hold you there and bring Vasco in. Then we're going to bring Mark.
Oh, okay.
30 seconds quickly, Vasco.
Okay, Nelson, I'll be very fast. Look, you know, like my brother said, when we come here, sometimes our people listen to us. I know the three of you that came here, you're always angry. Even if you're in the comment section, we see what you do there. So come on the show now, you bro, you're angry. Look, this is spoon, right? Excuse me. This is spoon, okay? You can come here, you say all the fun thing you want to say. But the last time, this big network took the microphone in the streets for the Liberian people to speak. The people who feel in the pinch. And you guys listened to the people. The people were very clear that your government, your Joseph Baka government, have failed them in 1 year. Every one of them greater than President Weah. government in 1 year to be better than what Baka did. So you can come here and say what you want to say. But the people down there who stood on the line to put Baka in power, they're feeling the pinch.
Thanks a lot, Vasco. I want to hold you there. Francis, we'll take you finally before transitioning, but let's take Mark. Mark, go
Yeah,
ahead.
but Francis has spoken earlier, man. Let's move on.
Francis spoke first.
Mark,
Well,
go ahead.
you
Let's
back on that talk too, yeah.
yeah.
So
No,
don't even say
we
Francis.
talk.
Guys, let's give our brother Francis a time.
Yeah, you see, they always running with this thing. I'm sorry that Choco had to leave. I hope you can hear me.
Sorry, Francis. I was actually referring to Mark.
You said Francis. Okay, I'll wait.
But my freeze.
Oh wow. Okay, but then Francis, go ahead.
Yeah,
Mark wants to join, but he has some real
y'all don't
issues.
listen to these people. Choco they come here talking about former president, we are brothers free education thing. Choco is not in Liberia. Wherever he goes to school, he knows that when they talk about free public schools and stuff, it's paid for by the government. But the judge want to vote, so he said free education. The building is leaking. The teacher are supposed to teach the children. They don't get paid, right? The students, the pamphlet that they used to buy for cheap after free education, pamphlet prices increase. So you're talking about free education. What's the quality education they are receiving? You can have no priority. Everything you did was for vote. You should prioritize primary education instead of running a university. People go over there, they can't really read at the university. They read at a junior high level. Building leaking. People sitting at the windows to speak. People go behind the building to urinate. And you say free education? Where did the money come from to fund the free education? You think you talk about free education, then that means you're doing good for the people? You actually hurt the people because they're receiving less than quality education. So stop that thing.
Can I come in?
So we. Sorry, I'm not seeing it.
Can I come in? What you checking?
Yeah. So just quickly, then we transition.
Oh yeah. So Jabate, you made a good point, right? If your argument is that there were some issues associated with the free tuition policy introduced by President Weah, talking about teachers' quality, talking about infrastructure development, and maybe the provision of some educational technology, then I think it is better to provide those services instead of canceling the entire free tuition policy. Because if you look at this policy, this is a people-centered pro-poor policy, meaning it was actually prepared to empower people that were economically challenged. And the reason why I keep emphasizing on this is because I believe that with education, you can bridge whatever gap it is. A person can come from in the interior, they could obtain a bachelor's degree or maybe associate degree, and they will be able to empower their entire family. So instead of canceling this entire program that will empower an entire generation, why can't we try to add those needed ingredients and continue the program instead of thinking about canceling the program? So criticizing the program, I think, is unfortunate. You can't do that.
Thank you.
That would be
all right. So guys, at this point, we want to transition. Let's quickly transition. A lot of you saw or followed closely this particular incident when the Inspector General of Police visited the highways, Bonk, Monrovia, Agbanga Highway, and then he came across those police officers who were caught with a plastic bag of money. They had the checkpoint, according to information. And even before this particular situation, there were reports of how some drivers along the highway were being harassed. If you get there at the checkpoint, if you didn't have your 100 LD with you, just get ready to provide all your necessary documentation, else you'll be delayed. So it became a custom or a normal thing along the corridor there where the folks had to pay. And then he bumped into them. Next thing we saw was that the money or the plastic bag of money was taken away from those guys, and they were being forwarded to the Professional Standard Division of the Liberia National Police for investigation. Now, today, the investigation was concluded and a decision was reached. One of the officers was dismissed, while two others were being suspended. Now, I want us to make some analysis around this issue because from the very start, I want to get these photos up, but I believe almost everyone here have seen the photos of that particular incident. From the very start of this issue, there were mixed views. There are some who thought that confiscating whatever those guys took from the drivers was the best thing to do because you're setting a deterrence. You're trying to get rid of something that's in the system that's not right. There were others who thought that it wasn't the best approach because it wouldn't stop the whole idea of police officers, some police officers, setting up checkpoints and roadblocks just to take monies from drivers. Today, the decision was reached. Those guys, some of them have been suspended, two suspended, one dismissed. I want to read the press conference from the LMP, but it's a whole bucket one here. But I want us to go around the table on this. Let's go around the table on this particular issue. Let's start with you, Sandy, and then we're going to make the rounds on this.
Look, Nelson, we discussed the issue the last time, and I would say this again, like what I said the last time. Corruption at any level of our governance is, terrible. It should not be encouraged, especially with at the level of the national security. It put us in harm's way. We are talking about accelerating use of illegal drugs in the country, right? And it starts with the security sectors. When your security sector is corrupt, they basically don't check anything that comes in your country. And you could come with a dead body, you could come with drugs. And I shared my experience the last time. I've traveled to Liberia on road. I traveled to Liberia, driving through. I traveled to Liberia on flight. And all of my experiences, I can tell you, I experienced direct corruption where security will just basically ask you what you bring for them instead of checking any of your luggages. So I think the step taken is a good one, right? When you catch anybody being corrupt, not just police officer now, but anybody being corrupt, and after you investigate the matter, dismiss them. Corruption, no excuse for corruption. However, though, Nelson, let's focus on improving the conditions of our security sectors, right? I always advocate for the frontline workers in the country, the security sectors, the educators, the healthcare workers. Those are people we must pay very decent wages, and we must pay them on time. Most of those police officers, Nelson, they depend on bribery. Unfortunately, depend on bribery or the little things they're getting on the street to survive. I'm not making excuse for anybody, but I'm just telling you the reality in the country. When a police officer is being paid $150, and it doesn't, it don't even come on time, right? It's not timely. You expect the brother or the sister who have family at home, depending on them, to find ways to feed the family. Again, that is not an excuse, but that's reality. We need to address that as a country. Pay those people on time. Apart from the regular salary,
Sandy, there's debate about paying the police officers on time, paying them regular decent wages and all of that. Do you think it's going to address the issue? The last time I checked, there are people who are making a lot of money in the country, but there are still allegations of corruption in some of those corridors.
Nelson, if you are paying a man, or if you're paying somebody and they are still corrupt.
Sorry to interrupt you, Sandy. Trokon, you want to remove the face cap? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
You made a promise. Nelson, I get your argument. We have people in the ministry, we have people in the legislatures, we have people in the executives that are chronically corrupt. So I get the argument. But that does not take away the importance of paying your security, your frontline workers, timely and giving them decent wages. Now, once you do that on your part and you still find them corrupt, well, you have absolutely every reason to take drastic actions. But Nelson, let us
This
not just
someone may
focus.
say decent is relative. What is
Well,
decent as per
well,
your
listen,
analysis at this
I
point?
have always said this. I do not just focus on the monies going to the individual. I always argue on this show that Liberia, and you can do your research, Liberia pays her police officer more than Rwanda. But the reason Rwanda police officers are not corrupt is because apart from the wages that they are getting, there are significant other benefits that are allotted to them. Free health care, free education for their family, subsidized groceries or incentives. I told you the last time, a Rwanda officer will go to a store that I will go to, but will buy the grocery maybe 50% less than I will pay for because they have that incentive. If you start to give those kind of benefit, healthcare, free education, and those other incentives, and you pay them even $100, and that is coming on time, they shouldn't have reason to be corrupt on the street.
Thank you. Let's hear a take on this, Josh.
Thank you, Nelson. Look, from my experience, higher pay for anyone does not determine whether that person will be corrupt or not. Corruption is an inherent behavior for people. What happens is that deterring is always a key factor that could curtail that menace. So I would disagree with my brother Sandy on this one. Why, paying people sufficiently can somehow make them more careful not to do what is wrong before they get dismissed from that job is one of the factors. So I think the IG did a really good job by dismissing these guys. I think it will serve as a deterrent because deterrent is always a good, a factor, to curtail this corruption. So I think he did well. Unlike our President Bouakai, Doug Cooper is still working at the Commerce Ministry, even though he's an academic fraudster. He took somebody dead person, degree upon himself, and he still works in this government. So for this IG to take that bold step to say, look, I'm going to disrobe you, I'm going to fire you if you do what is wrong, I think it's a really good thing, and we must commend him. We need people like that in our society because without that, man, we're going nowhere. Because every time people do wrong, you pardon them. The other people say, if I do it too, they will pardon me. So I will do it as well. And that pardon continues. So I think it's a good thing. Unlike our president, because President Bouakai is weak, he doesn't know that, when you dismiss people who do wrong, you serve as a deterrent. It serves as a deterrent for the others. So I think I must give it to the IG on this one.
Let's hear you on this, Vasco, and then we're gonna take our brother William.
Okay, Nelson. I have a different view on this whole thing. For me, I think I know people are gonna beat on me, but I'm looking at this.
But you haven't made the point. You said people will beat on you.
But I'm
please go ahead, man. I
think for me, this is a stage managed stuff that took place on the highway. Because to see the police IG himself, this is a man that always on TikTok and all this social media things, doing all kinds of things. To see the police IG himself taking picture with money in plastic bag. First of all, the people on the highway, they don't put money in plastic bag. They put their money in their pocket because they plenty.
Vasco, have you driven? No,
Vasco, you don't have that experience.
Let's see. Let me learn my thought.
No.
Anytime some of us want to learn our thought, just give me chance. You get your own. That was saying, don't say your own and say my own. Just let me say my own. That how I feel, that whole thing. The police director is somebody who always on TikTok looking for content. All the way we pay him good money, but he's still out there looking for content. See, he's sitting on the floor or sitting so checking money in bed. First of all, the people, the police officer, what you get is for you. You put it in your pocket. You see that? I feel this is stage managed because we never saw any investigation. You are a journalist. You saw anybody, the SG?
Come on,
No, there
Vasco.
was no investigation.
No, you're asking me. You're asking me. Let me come in, Vasco.
I didn't see any investigation for me.
No, I'm coming now. I'm
I only
coming.
saw a press release on Saturday that they fired the other person, they suspended the other person.
Investigations are not public.
No, this kind of a thing should be public.
I'm coming,
sometimes so
Vasco.
people can believe.
So Vasco. Okay, so let's put it this way.
Yeah.
The police has the professional standard division,
Yes.
to which every citizen, regardless of who you are, if you felt offended by any police officer in the street, that person did something to you that you didn't like, carry that person complain, their badge number, their name, to the professional standard division. They will summon that person. They will investigate that person, and if what you said about that police officer is proven to be right, action will be taken against that individual. So are we now saying, Vasco, that the professional standard division should start to simulcast all of their investigations across the country? Is that what we're saying, Vasco?
Yes, you know, that certain precedent, people don't trust the security. And, you know, so when the security start to act upon their own members, these are things that the public should see. Then the public will say, yes, our security, I think they are moving ahead. But you don't come and give me press statement here and you want me to believe you that, oh, you already fired this person. The government, the people lie too much, so I don't believe most of the things that happen. Everything, down from the president to the whosoever, everybody lie to Liberian people. So I don't believe them. And that is my stance on issue. I don't believe them. I feel that was a stage managed something. Because even the police director, to be frank, what you doing over there? You get all on the ground people. If you let me go intel that, oh, they got people on the highway that can be taking money, it won't be you, the police director, to go sit down with it. You'll get people going there to solve that problem. But for the police director to be way over there, that was just another content creating something to go on TikTok
Thank you,
and
Vasco.
Instagram.
Thanks a lot, Vasco. But the information is that the police inspector general was on his way from Bond County when he bumped into this situation.
From
immediately. Yeah, from Nimba.
Funeral. So what taking the picture? What doing the video?
So I'm coming now, guys. I'm coming. So after everything, the money you saw in the plastic there, the money he collected from those police officers in the plastic, this is the total amount. It was deposited in the CBL account on the 23rd. So what's the total amount? 35,600 Liberian dollars is the total amount that those police officers collected that was in this particular plastic bag.
Listen, what was the time? What was the time? So that means that the whole money the police people were collecting, or just few hours?
Vasco per day.
Vasco,
do you know how many vehicles?
But what was the time the Gregory Como went there? Because I know Gregory Como went over there. It was not even 3 o'clock. It was not even 3 o'clock.
So what's your point, Vasco? What's your point?
My point, I'm telling you, that was a stage man. You hearing the amount? You hear the amount? You call a policeman, no policeman will tell you so collect $35,000 on highway. You know what you're talking? Check in few hours.
Okay, Vasco, thanks a lot. You know, I wanted to bring Choco in, but I can't bring Choco. I can't bring Choco after Vasco.
I want to disagree with Vasco, honestly. And
no problem. Choco can disagree with me. That's my own thing. Anybody can disagree with me. I know people disagree.
But let's bring our brother.
I come here. I thought you said you're going to be.
Vasco, when you're done, please mute.
Okay, let me mute.
Yeah, I don't want to be putting people in the back and all of that. When you don't, just mute. Let's come to our brother James on this one. Whatever I know will come to you, but let's take James on this one.
Okay, thank you, Vasco. Thank you, Nelson. Vasco, I think Vasco said he went to Liberia and spent 1 month in his house. So I'm not sure he has any meaningful information about the country. Okay, take for my case, right? I work in Liberia in Southeast from 2019 March to 2022 March. That is 3 whole years. I work in Zredru. Every checkpoint you see on the highway, the police people collect money. He say you travel on arrow, he will give you experience. I travel with NGO cars. I travel with NGO motorbike. I travel with commercial motorbikes. I work. In fact, I was living in a yard with about 6 different police officers, almost like they were just group. We all were renting the same house. If I tell you that there are things that can happen that you will not believe that can normally happen, every shift commander that goes to the checkpoint on a daily basis, we have to make report. This is why I'm telling you, this is something that I know for sure. So all the checkpoints you see on the highway, all the checkpoints you see, they make report. One. Vasco said police officers collect money and then when you put in your pocket, it's for you. Ain't that true? The highway police, if you see the highway police that is right after 15 gate, they normally have that small white Jeep parking there. When every driver reach there, 2 things. You get down, you take your document and carry it to the car. You're not carrying document for inspection. Every driver is carrying $100. Taxi is $100. They got different money for bus. They got different price for Jeep, commercial Jeeps. They got different price for container. They container drivers. If you got 20 feet container, 40 feet container, they got different prices for all these cars that you see on the highway. The only people who are free on the quota on the highway are the motorcyclists. They don't bother them, they don't disturb them. But all the cars that travel on the highway on the quota, you pay. On the dusty road, the motorcyclists at least $50 before you cross any checkpoint. This is something that we know. Almost all it's not only Banga Highway. I work also in River Cells from 2022 March up to 2023 August when I resigned to come to China to go to school. So on all these checkpoints, you get everything. Then the next one, all these trucks you see bringing playing from in a bush timber, they also have their prices based on the quantity you're carrying. So these are things that they do. The issue of paying a good salary to stop corruption. You have police officers making around 150. I understand harmonization brought their salary from 150 to 120. Although we heard that harmonization was to be for people making huge sum of money, but at least police officers making 150 had salary harmonization.
The minimum wage in the country is 150. You know, so
you sure?
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't know how true it is because it was. I had a DA of friend who told me that she was making $90 salary, $90 monthly salary. I don't know how true is that because I did not verify. I took her for her word, and that's what she said. Right? You have police officers. Maybe some of them have large families. Even if you pay them $250 or $300 or $400, that will not stop them from getting involved in corruption because corruption in our country is becoming something like people do it and go free. From the top, people corrupt and they are not punished. There's nothing to stop them. So if you don't have this system to punish people who are involved in corruption, we have people in our country, lawmakers.
Just to conclude with you, James, then we'll go to our brother William. What do you make of the IG's action?
No, the action is okay. It's commendable. I don't agree with Vasco that the investigation should be televised and show maybe on Facebook Live. I've known this is not how the professional standard department of the police is to work on any investigation. This is not court proceeding. Maybe you say, oh, police officers are coming, let's televise this and pull it up. It's okay. He said it was stage managed, but this is not stage managed. It was something that maybe happened abrupt. The officers were not expecting the IG to be at that point in time to their checkpoint. So this is something that happened unexpected to them. My only wish is they should continue this. Probably they should have some, I don't know if they could use some of the CIDs, disguise themselves, get on commercial vehicles, go out in the various counties. You will have many of these cases coming up.
Thank you.
This is commendable. This will help to curtail some of these things and at least maybe you'll put the country in a better path for everyone.
Thanks a lot. Let's
you won't fire the whole police force now when you do that one.
Let's take William and then we're going to take
Nothing. Why you can't deal with a brother who having an internet problem for back home first before everybody else that's sitting in a comfortable spot? My 2 cents.
So I don't want to go for a female card. So go ahead, Mark.
Okay, yeah. So in Liberia, it's kind of difficult to be on the program, but we keep managing until we get better under this government. But quite rightly, the IG action was in place. I think these are the kind of things I would like to see in our country. I don't want people to even insinuate that it was stage managed. If this can be stage managed, I think all of these things should be stage managed, even in the health sector, in the educational sector, that when people are caught in such a thing, they should be dealt with sufficiently so that it can be precedent set. Because what have happened right now, I live in Pinsville. We're at Park Uppings Junction, where the police people are always so much crowded there. These are things that we see almost every day. And I think the IG have to come even to Park Up in Junction in the red light area, right near the roundabout there. They have to go there. They have to go on the Buchanan Highway, on the Bombing Highway, because the police people are always there doing these kind of things. So I think if the IG is taking such action, we all should come and commend the IG, and not just the IG. The educational minister should also move out there to see some of these kind of corrupt attitudes that are in the system, so that those people who are involved in this kind of corrupt attitude and the serious action should be taken against them to serve as deterrent for others who would like to follow suit. So it's commendable. I appreciate him for that. So kind I even posted on my Facebook page, appreciating him for the decisive action taken against those corrupt guys. Is that the first time I always go to Nima on our road? These guys are always in the constant habit. And no, it should never be any excuse that somebody they will give you 500 or 400 as your salary. We get lawmakers here who are making 15,000. Some of them are still taking brown envelope. They are still corrupt. So it should not be the argument that if we pay them more money, they will not get involved into corruption. But even if you decide you saw the salary as a police officer, you said, I'm going to go into it to serve my country. So it should not be anything about I'm making low salary. The only way I can sustain me and my family is to get into corrupt attitude to extort money from people. So no excuse for corruption, no space for corruption. Even those people who are talking these things in the very country that they are living in, people are making small money, but they are not involved into corruption. They are happy with it and they are managing in their means. So we should not condone it in our country.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mark. Let's hear you now, William. Then we'll take Chokan.
Yeah, Nessie, before I start, I want to ask you a question. How many police guys were arrested on that act?
So far, as per the release from the Professional Standard Division today, there are 3 individuals that actions have been taken against. So 2 have been suspended, while 1, who happens to be the leader, he's being dismissed.
Okay. Nessie, my problem here with actually I must applaud the IG first. Let me say that, and I have a problem with our entire system in Liberia. That is, those things. If this thing was going to happen to the top people, this was coming to be called embezzlement. It was not coming to nobody coming to hear about it. Liberian law can only work on the honor people. It doesn't work on the big people. I listen to your show every blessed day. I'm an ardent follower. I follow Spoon every day. There are a lot of corruption that go on over there, or huge money, millions of dollars, people stealing, and individuals stealing from over there. They can't punish them like this. But because they feel, trust me, I'm not somebody who, let's say, telling them to shoot, carry on corruption. It's not right, more especially in the security sector. But I want for this action to extend to the higher level. It shouldn't be only to the lower level. And as per our police force or even the army or even any worker in Liberia, next thing, one major thing I observe about Liberian workers is they are not committed to their job. Because when you are committed to your job, you know where you come from, you know what you want. Whether they pay you with $5 or $10, you will manage that money. You will be committed to your job. Until Liberians can get a mindset of being committed to what they want or what they think they're doing, Liberia will never be out of corruption until commitment comes.
Thank you. Chokon, you want to come in? And I think we
Yep.
left with Emmy and Francis.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, Chokon.
thank you so much. So before the show today, I'm not a frequent user of all of the different social media apparatuses, but based on the short video that you share, I think it is a good thing that the IG is moving out there to make sure that he tried to right some of the wrong. And that brings to my attention some recommendation that I would like to project.
Okay.
And so those recommendations, they are all going to be in the direction of a defense mechanism of some of those behavior. So the first thing that needs to be done is that the police or the government needs to make sure that they need to do some root cause analysis to know what are those factors that are pushing our police officers to go into this direction. That's number one. Number two, they should try to revisit and redefine their recruitment philosophy to make sure that people who they are recruiting to be a part of the police, their personal morals align with the national security agenda of Liberia. That is very important. Another thing is that I think the IG visiting all of the counties, like one of the brothers said, it is not sustainable. He's one person. So they should also try to think innovatively about means through which they can try to prevent some of these acts. And one of the things that they can do is that the police should maybe publicize a hotline so that drivers can call. Because if I was a driver and there's a hotline I can call directly and someone will come immediately to come and rescue me from whatever situation I will be in, to call the police, maybe 911, or at a Shuffling barrack or maybe Shuffling police station and then hold my car, they say I want to pay $100. And there should be an incentive for it, regardless of the issue. In as much the police are soliciting funds from you, whoever that is going to come on the scene, they should provide them incentive. Maybe the incentive would be allowing you to go and penalizing the person who committed the act. We're living in a digital age. You can just snap the picture of that person and then you call the police. So I think if they try to incorporate some of those mechanisms, it will try to ease down the tension because the RGE going from police station or police depot to police depot, it is not sustainable. It is not even half of the job that he has to do as a person. So he cannot be going from point A to point B and all over. And another thing is that those who are in key leadership position, especially in the security sector, they should start to lead by example. And that brings me to my final point. Somebody said common people, I think it was either Mark, but someone said common people, okay, it was Williams. Common people can be prosecuted when they venture into corruption, but people at the top, whenever they are engaged into issue, it can just be swept under the carpet. And I think that is wrong. And the government or the police or security sector need to try to take some practical step. Like for example, there was an issue at the LDEA, the Labrador Drugs Enforcement Agency. There have been rumors circulating that some people in key government position absconded drug amounting to several thousand United States dollars. That was the cause of the fight. Why is the government preventing this report from coming out? Bring the report out. I think as a government, in as much you don't have a part to play into those corruption act, there is no reason why you should be hiding report. Bring out the report. And that is the kind of government I want to see in our age. I'm not talking about the Unity Party or the CDC government. But for example, if my brother Collie will become president of Liberia and maybe he got to know me through this Spoon FM and maybe he allowed me to serve in even as a sweeper, maybe at a ministry or what have you. And regardless of our friendship, if I misbehave, there should be examples set on me so that if George want to venture into any such activity, he can say, "Oh, but if Collie can set example on Chokon, then I shouldn't think about doing any such thing." So I think the government need to try to conduct her root cause analysis and take some practical step in ensuring that we address all of the issues that are going on in Liberia. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chokon. Thanks a lot. So we left with Emmy, right? Emmy is the final person to make her input on this. Francis, you yet to do so. Okay, so let's take Emmy then. We're gonna come. Then Francis will take us to the full line. I see Josh. I see your hand up. But let's take Emmy and Francis.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Emmy.
Okay, so sorry. I was yeah, I kind of agree with all of you guys, especially the last speaker, Chokon, what he said about you know, preventive mechanisms that should be put in place. I agree with that as well. And I also agree with what what's his name said, Cuddy, about the little man being always being the one to be punished in Liberia. They never look at the big guys. And Josh also said that as well. He said that. But it was kind of funny when he said it though, because I don't know. Sometimes we have like short-term memories and stuff. We have a case on him right now, the Capitol building, burning of the Capitol building, and they named certain individuals as people of interest. And his political party chairman came out and making all of these, I don't want to use words, but all of these remarks saying that, oh, we would defend, we would do that one, we would resist, we would do that, with challenging the government and the authority, right? And George came on this platform and hailing him for saying stuff like that. Because they are what? Representatives. And you have ordinary people standing about clapping, like my brother Francis was saying under the Saki tree, right? They were clapping. There was something, and this is something that any of them in our group had done. It would be easy. They would be in jail right there and then. And even the little guys that were sent to do that, they were arrested and put in jail. But these representatives are still in their little comfortable beds and stuff, and they think that's something good. They applaud stuff like that. But then when it happened, we want to complain about it. So I don't understand. Should it be like, are we being picky, or do we rather want Liberia to change across the board? That's my confusion about everything. Because if you want your country to change, you shouldn't be thinking about political party. You shouldn't be. That's why I support a candidate. I don't care about what party you come from. And we all on here should be doing that. If President Boakai would steal or do something that will harm Liberia, and that evidence come out, trust me, he will not be my Uncle Joe. He will be Uncle Joe. I still love Uncle Joe, but Uncle Joe have to fix the law. If it hurting Liberia, hurting 3-year-old babies who are supposed to be having 3 meals a day, who are supposed to be in school, free, by the way, from elementary to high school, should be free, not college level. Then what happened to the little elementary and high school student in River Cess that don't have that, who parents don't have money to send them to school? We can't say those are bad, but we want the higher level to be the one to be free, and then the ones down to sit at home and not go to school. I don't know how we came up with that, but yeah, we should all have that mindset that Liberia should be Liberia. And when it comes to our political parties, we, President Hill, then when it's time for election, we do that. After that, when they're messing up, we should be frank and say it. But it's always picky, selective. When it's somebody from our political party doing it, then it's a good thing. Then but when on the other side doing it, then they should punish that person. Vasco comes here. I don't know why we keep asking Vasco. Regardless of what anybody does in this government, Vasco will always see something negative in it. So there's nothing. This brother cannot be rescued. Just let him talk and let our hear her. And then when he finish, we go home. That's all we can do. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Emmy. So yeah, Francis, you can take us to the phone lines.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are all in agreement with this particular issue. There should, in the security sector, there should be no room for corruption anywhere in our country.
You and who in agreement?
People that serve and protect. But man, Saki, the break that you hold for job, we are condominium, it's still hurting your head. Please be quiet.
Like I said, we all.
Please be quiet.
Guys, let's give our brother the time. Let's protect.
Please be quiet. So yeah, but unfortunately, the people that made it plenty of money, they get away with it. Because even now, more than half of the president's cabinet have not declared an asset yet, and that's ripe ground for corruption, ripe ground for stealing. Because we don't know what the NSCC or wherever don't know what they came in with. Now, each year they will steal more added on to what they did not come in with, and when they finally declare, they say, "Oh, this is what I got. This is what on her asset declaration on her asset declaration form." The president is sitting there doing nothing about it. He's been making these big threat, saying, "Oh, people should do this, people should do that." But people not even listening to him because they know he will not do anything. So that's the problem. Without checking these guys in the street, firing them, the president can make sure everybody declare the asset in 1 month. Because all the people that work in the executive branch, they work at the will and pleasure of the president, he appointed them. He can say by next month, the 28th, February 28th, if your asset has not been declared, find another job because you'll not be working my government. But he's not doing it. Gregor Coleman doing a fine job by trying to prevent corruption. But President Parker is doing a fine job encouraging corruption. You see?
Thank you, Francis. Guys, let's go to the phone lines. And
just for 30 seconds, most of my brothers misunderstood my stance. Can I clarify that quickly?
Okay, so Sandy, can you clarify once we come from the phone lines? We are going to do our closing. We want to take just 5 calls. A lot of the folks have been up. They want to at least add their own thoughts to the issues tonight. So 0555-101075 is the number to call, and you'll be live on the show. Hello, your name and where you calling from? Hello? Hello? Okay. So 0555-101075. Let me put the WhatsApp up. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, quickly. Let's hear you, sir.
If you kindly permit me for security reasons, I want to call my name.
Yeah, once you're not insulting.
Okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I appreciate everyone of you guys on the platform there. I'm a police officer, actually. At perfection, I'm a police officer. Okay. Why it is true that we hail the IG for the initial step taken. But let me bring this to you guys' knowledge. Probably you guys are not informed of what unfolding into the LMP. We have very decent and committed police officers. But when it comes to our promotional aspect, if you don't work in line with the policy in the building that you will pay finances, you cannot be promoted by your good work. So you will notice that most of the guys that are promoted to the level as depot commander and commanders, these are people that pay specific taxes to the bosses in the office there, and no one is working not promoted. So if I'm on a referral pass and I'm not for my good work, then of course you see me dancing into get money for promotion. One aspect.
Okay, conclude, sir. Okay.
Okay,
so
that one aspect. That one aspect. We are talking about. Someone said we should understand what brings about this issue. We are not supporting. I am not supporting as a police officer. But I understand this. In Liberia, I'm a sergeant of police. A sergeant is paid $125 United States dollars with no transportation to go to work, with nothing to hold me at the job site. So you in the studio there, you expect me to use $125 for my monthly transportation when I get to work to eat, and the least school in Liberia don't even pay $125 for tuition. And even me, how will I build my capacity and how will I educate my children? I come in. Just go ahead with that. And I get it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Portion of your point was an allegation, and the other aspect was about the reality justification. Okay, so, but let's take this caller here. Hello. Hello. So guys, when you call in, just make sure you free the line. Hello. Hello. So this person is not ready, but holding on to the line. Let's take you here. Hello, friend. WhatsApp line. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, Nelson, and good morning to the panelists.
Go ahead quickly, sir. Let's hear you. Good morning.
My name is Satana. Quickly, let me get to the police issue. Let me comment. Hello.
Go ahead, sir. You're live.
So, the issue of the RG decision is welcoming because the salary should not be on the skills. If you can manage 1 cent, you not manage 5 cents. That's a theory. But my recommendation to him, he should not stop to administrative action. Corruption is a crime under our law. So if it is message sent to court, let him go to court, let him have a day in court, let him be prosecuted. That will serve as a complete deterrent.
Thank you.
That's my recommendation.
Thank you very much for your input, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person here. Hello, quickly. Let's hear you. We lost that person. 0555-101075. So we can take 3 more calls and then we wrap up. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
I'm Manik from the Arisu Bill, and I want to speak on the issue of this, the house, the burning of the
We're
capital.
not talking on the capital building tonight. We talk on the SONA coming up, analysis around that, and the police issue, the IG's recent action.
Okay, no, about the issue of the police.
Okay.
I just had to say thank God for the IG action towards those police officers. It's a very good thing. My sister, I'm one of the guys who usually follow the show, and up to now I'm still awake. If at 9 o'clock I get on my radio and listen to the fine English people speak, yeah, it's a very good thing. Thinking about the country, thinking and discussing the level of corruption that we are going through in this country.
Okay.
And we can express ourselves. That we don't have our own will. Things are not happening well for us. If I know people that are up there, they are the people staying enjoying this country up to now. So thank God. Even the way the police are treating the people in this country is bad.
Okay. Thank you. So we're going to take the final caller here. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
My name is John Abaya. I call from Tuesday.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I love the discussion about corruption, especially when somebody says that Kuma is fighting corruption in the police. I think that's laudable. Well, I don't know why it is only in the police that there is corruption, because a major question is what happened to our rest, the call that we made through the Christmas season to school. We're supposed to get a rest, we can't get a rest. Everyone is the same as our different stations or different good whatever about the people corrupt.
This is a corrupt.
This is
Let me eat the people rest.
Interestingly, the folks who call on the show, we did video and everything. The distribution was live. And then it coincided with the festive season and all of that. But people got their rights. Other people have been coming up and coming out of the station, and those who did not get it during the festive season and picking up their rights. So if you didn't get yours, I don't know how.
I'm one of those people who get out. I've been there several times. Every time I go there, they say we'll get ready, we'll call. Get ready, we'll call. So are you showing me the power?
So let me give you a number. Please take this number. Take this number.
Yeah, call it.
0776
0776
918
918
639.
639?
Yeah, 639. So
918 639.
Yeah, so call that number anytime after 12 p.m. tomorrow. Anytime after 12. Don't call in the morning, call after 12.
918 639.
Yeah. And then the team that does the distribution is not here on the team will not be here on Saturday. So you can call that number on Monday, anything after 12. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So I will squeeze the final person in. Hello. Just the last one.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you, man.
Yeah, George, I call from Broadville.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me firstly register my observation.
Okay.
Have to do with my brother Vasco. I don't know him, but I think each time when Vasco try to make the point, uh, you will do all out of cross examine with him,
Oh,
and
me?
instead of allowing him to just flow. That is one. Secondly, the issue about the DEA, let me say the police commander, the RG. Yes, I must admit that is a very good one to expose corruption and bring it to the light so that it can serve as a deterrent.
Okay.
But again, like my brother said, it's a stage management. Myself, I am a kind of confused
Oh,
that in
so
a
you agree or
daytime,
valid with Vasco that is stage is a stage kind of situation, right?
yeah, because
Okay.
I'm looking at the amount.
Okay.
30 35,000, no. Because most of the time, the rest, I say I only traffic. Most of these and GD and all that stuff. I see the traffic here. I know that driver pay $100 to those guys. But sometimes before some driver even give that $100, they will park and they will argue before they can even pay. A lot of time will go. So the amount is a kind of feature.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
finally, hello.
Yeah. Sorry, I think we have to hold you there. We are
Okay.
seriously out of time, guys. Seriously, my eyes are heavy. I think we, if I have my own will, we'll just end the show now. But since we have to close, we can take 1 minute across the table to do our closing. Let's have Emmy to take over now as I make some adjustments from my end.
It's time for you to go sleep. Go ahead, Mark, before your phone go off. See, I'm looking out for you.
Before
Okay,
the TV
so
man call you again.
There's benefit in liking me.
yeah. So yeah, let me appreciate you people so kindly for allowing me in today. I hope that next Friday again I can be with you guys so that we can discuss some of these kind of critical issues that are affecting our country. And one caller made mention of making $125 US as a justification to get into corrupt attitude. That should never be condoning in our country. You agreed, you saw it, you signed up to it, to the money. You agree to work for it, and you do that well with commitment, with ethical behavior, everything that it takes to do a perfect and a good job to move your country forward. You decided to serve your country, so there's nothing like remuneration that should induce you to get into corruption. I was making $125 before, and later on when I saw that it wasn't enough for me to take care of other things, I quit that job and found another job. So it should never be an excuse for anybody to get into corruption. Thank you so much this
Thank you,
morning from my
brother.
end.
Thank you. And Vasco?
Okay, I mean, it was a great show, and I want to say, I want to encourage you guys to come back next Friday so we can share the platform. Everything we do here is about our country. I know you might not agree with me what I say, but everything I say on this show, I say it from my heart, and that's how I feel. These people, the people that we're dealing with right now, from the president coming to whosoever, minister whatsoever, I haven't seen any truthful thing coming from them. So when I see some of these things and I go and do my own observation, when I saw it the first time, I tried to believe it. But then when I went and I saw the amount of money in a small black plastic bag, and look at the amount of Kwame Kuma wasted on the floor, they said at 35,000. I said, well, another stage manage something. Yeah, this is not right. This man, you always want to portray himself outside it like he's one of those, I'm more like a professional. He's one of the best police person ever. But that's not the case, man. We see his leadership. We see his leadership is so messed up. I mean, our people don't have their free will anymore. And one thing about the rule, because I see all of y'all here talking about rules. Oh yeah, Bugger government doing that. I want you to go back and look at that video where my brother said he talking about 35 kilometer rule. Their government could not even fix 3 kilometers of road from across there going to Freeport. They couldn't complete in a year time. That 35-kilometer road, they boasting of. We
Thank
know
you,
how that road
Pastor.
went over there. 3 kilometers, they finish a whole year. They leave that one and go wait to Nima, Tapeta, and this and that. You're begging you, man. Begging
Thank
you,
you.
please.
You go ahead, Will.
But you say go ahead, yeah, we are really talking. You just say go
Ah,
ahead. Yeah.
what you want me to say?
No,
Yeah.
you the moderator now. Don't just go ahead, yeah.
Oh,
So which be the two I come and talking now?
okay, sorry, Pastor. William, you're next.
Once again, I must say thank you to each and every one, most especially our brother who are a comedian, Vasco. Vasco, I enjoy you many times because you taught something like it not
You see the
exist.
man insulting
But
me on the show now.
no, I'm sorry for that. Sorry,
That's a
I'm not
I know
profession.
insulting. You know,
that
you my brother.
Gio is speaking a while. I want to know.
I'm speaking crown. Don't worry. So like
Let's go protect the man, man.
Pastor,
uh
please let
William,
the
go ahead,
man
yeah, bro.
talk.
yeah, I appreciate each and every one. And Vasco, we sometimes just come here one day time. I beg you, please be giving us a chance. Let us at least talk our little thing in that one day time or that 1 or 2 hour time. I mean, I must say thank you to you guys and George, Trocom, James, Chirate, and Nursing with my man back. I say thank you to each and every one. And once again, my advice to the police IG is this thing shouldn't just be for the honor people. It should be for the upper people too as well. If we want for corruption to finish from our country, let us let go of impunity. Impunity will make our country will not go nowhere. They party argument, they party stuff. Oh, when something happens to somebody, say, oh, that witch hunt, we have to let it go. If we doesn't leave it, our country will not move forward. If we want for our country to move forward, we have to let go some of those things. The idea that we're learning out of our country, we have to go back in our country and make use out of it. When it happens, let us not put it on salary. The president not making good salary. Some of us in the people country we're not making enough, but at least we know that we got to manage because we have to give back to our people back home. So we know that if we're not doing anything here, our people back home will feed it too. So the same way we manage ourselves here, that how our people back home should know the importance of management too. So the
Thank you.
commitment comes first. Let us be committed to our country. Not only the president can be committed, but all the honor people have to be committed. Thank you.
Thank you. Choco?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I would like to start by appreciating the entire Spoon family for providing us this unique opportunity to exchange ideas, cross-pollinate our views, and provide recommendations for the foul march of Liberia. Uh, on Monday, we're going to be back here to listen and analyze the speech delivered by the president. And it is our expectation that he's going to be honest, speak directly to things that the government was able to do, admit some of the failures that they made. And I also want to send out this information to the government that they were elected to ensure that the best interest of our people is being respected and protected to the core. If the government keep violating the laws and providing the objective condition, our people, the Liberian people, will get angry and one day they will come outside and respond to the government in whatever tone they deem prudent for them. So once more, thank you so much for bringing us on the show, and we want to assure members of the Coalition for Democratic Change that
Ciao.
the institution remains alive. The organization have gone through a major stage of organizational introspection. There are going to be a lot of new breeds, a lot of young people from the CDC. There'll be a lot of new actors coming out, and we are encouraging everyone to come back on board our institution so that we can ensure that the views of the ordinary people of Liberia is being projected to the core.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate.
Go ahead, James. What is this?
Okay. Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to say a very big thank you to the Spoon Show, Spoon TV family, and I hope I will have the courage to keep coming up. Maybe we all need to contribute to the growth and success of our country. And thank you, Trocon, for at least concluding finally as a clear politician. As you came in like a spy, we need to be apolitical, but at least now you have come out clear as a citizen. Okay, thank you. So on the issue of the police, my only fear is maybe we might likely not see a repeat of what happened again, because corruption has been institutionalized. There are some gurus in the system who might likely prevent the IG from ever coming up with what he just did. That's number one. And number two, maybe a little recommendation to nursing. We saw this from the police. I wish the next time the Ministry of Transport inspectors are on the field, nursing, I wish you guys could have 2 or 3 presidents who could disguise themselves and get in commercial cars to see what happens also with the Ministry of Transport inspection team. Their case is even worse than the police, what we are seeing from the police. Just try a little survey from that angle and see. So our country has been so institutionalized with corruption. Every sector has deeply rooted corruption that if we don't fight, we may do with flesh and blood to get it out, it won't get out. Because the problem here is, maybe today I'm here, I'm speaking against corruption. Maybe when I say flesh and blood, it's not physical battle, but we should put in everything that we have intellectually to get it up. I'm speaking against corruption today. Tomorrow I'll get connected to one political godfather. My brother will defend for corruption. I will turn to the champion to defend corruption, because this is how our country has been built. Yeah. Every young man you see preaching against corruption, they are trying to get recognition, they get recognized, and once they get in the system, they have changed it become. Example, the light. We had a Chinese light. Now the man going in a horse, he not light again. So these are things. Practical example.
The senator
Oh,
will be out.
now see, you're not moderating this show. Don't come and take
The
over
senator
here.
will be out as a few days, man. Don't try to.
So
Don't
look,
try
but these are just practical examples. I have personal friends that I went to school where we all used to plead against corruption, but now that they are connected to lawmakers, they are connected to people who are helping and benefit from corruption. Even when you talk against corruption, my brother, they will start digging you all like, yeah, you rule up Kasawa, when Kasawa go, you rule each other. How you looking? So we have to work. We have more to do. Thank you very much. Maybe I hope Friday I'll have the time to be here again. Thank you.
Jalau. I said it right?
Jalau.
Oh, whatever. Jalau. I try.
We interviewed the former fire service chief here who told us that
you're kind of blurry. What's going on?
Yeah, that's because getting close to the webcam is going to take the okay, like you see now.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought I was going blind.
Yeah, I was seeing myself blur as well. So thank you. We interviewed a former fire service chief here and told us that his men and women were being capped at $150 for insurance, health insurance in the country. What that means is when a fire service man and woman go to the front line to serve your country, maybe get burned or something happened to them, and the government will only pay up to $150 for their medical fees. We interview police here who says they don't even have insurance. I am not defending corruption. I am not saying that the salary being paid to those people should be a reason for them to be corrupt. I am advocating that they deserve better incentives and let the government provide them better incentives. I am saying that let the government minimize wasteful spending at the top, reduce salaries at the top. No one generator should be getting paid $3,000 and a fire service man is being capped at $150 for health insurance. What I'm suggesting to the government is you can pay them the $150 you're paying them, the $125 that a policeman said they're getting paid. Give them good health insurance, give them free education for their children, give them some level of incentive that they can be proud of. Not when you pay people, when you prioritize your frontline servants, you enthuse them, you energize them, and then you get a level of productivity from them that we are expecting from them. That's what I'm advocating for. Look, we are seeing 5,600 from just few police officers. I think it is time that we initiate some toll system in the country. Let the government collect that money themselves. Let's put that into road maintenance and other things. Instead of police people collecting it from us. I've experienced that, my brother. I've drove on Grand Gita Road, but I don't give them that money. I can argue with them. I can tell them I know people in the government. you know, and then they can leave me.
Yeah, say you corrupt. You corrupt and they corrupt.
Yeah, do you know who I know in the government and they can leave me? But you know, these things are real. Let's have toll booths that are transparent. Collect that money and give it to the government. You know, we can put it into maintenance of the roads. I am expecting the president to tell us some of the failures. I outlined some failures. I also outlined some accomplishment. And let me end with my brother Vasco, who is arguing here. Oh, where's the president's signature project? Signature projects. I'm one of those people who don't buy into signature projects. Now, at least in the first year or two, government is continuity, my brother. If I mean what President Weah was doing, let me continue it. If I fail to do that, and that's where most of our leaders fail, they always want to have their own signature project. Signature project, so they can say that Waka started this, that Weah started this. Why can't Waka continue what Weah was doing? Why couldn't Weah continue what Helen was doing? That's how government should run. Then effectively, we can get our country to a place where we need to get to. If Waka complete Weah project, then maybe Waka can start some projects, you know, signature projects. But I shouldn't leave Weah project and start my own projects in the name of signature project just to be recognized.
Thank you. The Honorable
thank you, guys.
George Breather.
Thank you, guys. Look, I appreciate everyone's input. I think we come here not to talk for other people or from other people thinking. We come here to talk of our own knowledge and experience and everything. But I just want to take exception to my brother Sandy. Sandy, we cannot be talking about corrupt police officer, and then you come here to tell us about, you know, giving them more benefit, right? It's like a justification for the action. That is simple. There's no way you can talk tire, but I see the love in your face, but my brother, it will not hold water here. Yeah. The thing is, it's clear. When we are here, when we're talking about a corrupt person, you can say, oh, because the legislator not making plenty money, that what they're doing corruption for. That's that completely, I don't know, but I'm going to leave it at that. But I just want to draw a correlation between two things here, right? Or two entities here. We see even if that money was, you know, maybe you know, exponentially increased, right? Maybe your $500, they say $35,000. It goes in the account of the government. That's good. But here's the thing: when I look at what happened recently in the First Lady's office, two guys went and stole from a family in the name of helping their children to get scholarship to go abroad to study. And that investigation was done. And these guys were found to be culpable, right? It was true that they took the money from the people and they used the First Lady's name and did all that. For an action in retaliation of what they did, they suspended them for 1 month without pay and still will be working in the First Lady's office. And I look at that, I want to agree that the First Lady knew of that thing. She sent the people to do that, but because it was put in the news, that's why she shamelessly tried to take action. But now, what we see with the IG, regardless of how much the money was or not, the action he took will serve as deterrent. Any police officer who must have seen that video or, you know, heard it in the news will try to do something better next time when they're on the road, when they're asking for money or when they're trying to get money from people. They'll do something better. So it is what it is. The higher ups that we always say here, they benefit from corruption and nothing happens. Maybe the guys in the First Lady office, you know, they benefited because she knows about it. These are the corrupt elements in our country that because of them, our country cannot go anywhere. And I know the president was involved in making that decision to only give the people 1 month suspension without salary.
Thank you.
It is sad, but it's what we got in our country. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
So, thank you guys for coming on today. I was walking today and I stumped on toes.
You want close too?
Right? Of course, I want close. I was walking today and I stumped on toes, right? I know President Bwaka and his wife knows about it. They got him because they had to. I mean, I'm from Liberia, so why not? But anyways, like let me come in for my brother Cindy. I think you guys are misunderstanding what Cindy is saying. He's not saying that, oh, these things that should be done or whatever those police officers did was he's trying to justify their cause of, I mean, their reasons and all of that. No, that's not what he's saying. Even though we don't want these people to be corrupt, but we have to also have some kind of, empathy for what is going on in our country. And I think that's where he's coming from. You cannot be working like the police got said that 125, and you have school fees in the country that are what, $400, $500. That's how we care for education here, for everybody to be educated, right? We should do it from the primary to high school level. That's what we've been preaching it, and I'm pretty sure that's what that policeman is talking about. So we're not saying because he's not getting paid that amount he should go and be corrupt. No, but Cindy was saying that yes, you can pay them that amount, but at least try to meet them as other point too. That means okay, he's not being corrupt. Everything is fine. He accepting that money and going. What happened to his 3 children or 4 children that he has in his house? That is what Cindy's talking about. He's not talking about, oh, because he's not getting that, so he should be corrupt. I think you guys are misunderstanding him, trying to make it look like he's trying to backing these people for doing what they're doing. No, and this guy, and there's a lot of things that need to be handled too. You can't just go and put bandage on stuff and then you say, oh, the problem is solved. What the IG is doing, why it is commendable, but from what this guy that just called said, and what we also know has been going on in our country, I think it's just a band-aid over the problem, right? There should also be, they are humans. We all work in this country. We die a year. We know we have benefits. We have healthcare. We have it left for you if you want to take it. You work for 1 hour. You get paid for 1 hour. You get paid for if you have jobs that you can go to. If that job is not working for you, you have everything there. So you have some jobs have like my husband is in the military. My kids can go to school free of charge in Texas, college. If they choose to go to any college in Texas, that's because of military benefits. I think that's what Cindy is saying. The police should have some kind of benefits there for them while they are being paid that kind of lower rate or something that would sustain them at home because they have something there that is backing them up, incentive wise benefits. Oh, I'm a police wife, I'm a police daughter, and something. I go to school free. My dad don't have to worry about my school fee. So my dad 125 is sustaining us at home. That's something we need to be talking about. And when he talks about promotion too in the department, how they have problem with all of that. So we should also talk about corruption, but we should also come here and talk about the little problems under it. Maybe they don't know how to handle it and they think to be corrupt is the way to go. No. But while we also talking about that, we should also talk about the problem they are facing as well. And that's what Sandy is trying to underline some of it. And some of us we were seeing it in the wrong way. And I think we should try
Thank
to
you.
also
Thank you,
bring that
Emmy. Thank
as
you.
well.
Thank you, Emmy. Guys, we want to say thanks to
Josh,
everyone.
please don't tell me thank you. You're not part of the moderator team.
Thank you, Vasco. Thank you, Willem. Thank you, James. Thank you, Trocon. Thank you, Jarau. Thank you,
Thank you,
John.
Mark. I know you can't hear us. You're off, but thank you, Amy.
All
I
of you.
appreciate you.
And we look forward to being here on Monday. Until then, have a good show, have a good night, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Bye bye for now.
See you guys.